Yes, guys, United Sounders, it's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, the world's biggest Harry Kane fan, bringing you the pre-match build-up to Tottenham or to Manchester United versus Tottenham, and somebody's Champions League hopes have to go. So that's what today's game is all about. Of course, we are joined by Sean from Spurs Talk Show. If anyone's wondering where Jack is actually in Manchester right now, guys. So he is. So no Jacko today. He's off gallivanting, enjoying himself. And look, everyone else that I've contacted to come on, they're all out gallivanting as well. So look, me and Sean be rocking through this today. Sean, how you keeping, brother?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Glad to be here. As always, the best day of the week, especially this day, because it's one of the biggest games of the season. And I've already asked the audience what day it is, and Catman Jess has beaten me to it. It's game day! Come on!
Oh, it's an absolutely huge one today. For me, I think if we lose, Champions League hopes are over. We win, I think it kind of puts us in pole position. I do think Arsenal will drop points. It is absolutely massive today. But look, let's see what Irish Hotspur Army are in the building with us today. We have Leo Ghost Audits. He says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, Leo. We have Light Work, top 4. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get this win and finish top 4 and finally play Champions League where we belong. In Conte we trust. Big up, Light Work. I hope you're keeping well. Alfie Gosling's in the house. Hope all is well. Bit optimistic, but hope for a 2-1 win. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Harris Army. Big up, Alfie. I hope you're keeping well, mate. Sushant Busal up for Spurs. Love from Nepal, Jack. Happy for you, my man. Enjoy your time in the UK. Big up, Sushant. I hope you're keeping well. Dark Sung G's in the building. He's here for every single one, just like all of you guys. He says, come on, you Spurs. 3-1 win today. Son with 1, Reggie with 1, and Kulu with 1. Kane with 3 assists. Absolutely love that, Dark Sung G. Look, it'd be interesting to see whether Varane comes straight in and whether it's Maguire or Lindelof that gets dropped back there. Hopefully it's not Maguire. We want to keep him out there so he can just pump balls in behind him all day long. As for Kane, look, he does have a nice little record going against United at the minute, Dark Song G, which I will get into, my man. But beat yourself up, brother. Really appreciate the support. Amir Sardar says, afternoon, David and all the Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. Let's smash them. Big up, Amir. I hope you're keeping well, lad. Mick Hermalock says, good afternoon, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go, my man. Big up, Mick. We have Duncan Rap Band says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, Duncan. He says, we can beat these. They're in disarray. Absolutely love that. Catman Jess says, come on, you Spurs. Good afternoon, David. It's 8:30 a.m. here. The Irish coffee is on, and I'm ready to see Harry destroy Manure United. Let's go. Harris Army, Flat Cap Army. My man, I'll be honest with you, probably a bit early for an Irish coffee. You might not actually make the game, my man. You might not see Harry destroy them, so don't go too mad on them, lad. Don't go too mad. Spaghetti Slayer says, easy 5-0 win today, I reckon. Ooh, I hope so. I really do hope so, man. Welsh Gal, big up, lads. 3 points. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Welsh Gal. It's good to see you. I hope you're keeping well. Claude Murphy says, come on, you Spurs. The big up, Claude. Let's go. And it's a massive game today. Massive. David Wash says David De Gea might not play. Tested positive. I think David De Gea is fit. But there's now potential rumours around Bruno Fernandes. Not sure how that is. We'll wait and see how that develops over the afternoon. Anthony Gray says a draw today is not a disaster, but we all know really ideally we need a winning run going to claw back that goal difference, believing Conte. Yeah, look, a draw for me. Look, I'd take it. I'd be a bit deflated, to be honest with you. I would like to win. But then again, all depends how that draw comes. I mean, if we're losing coming up to 90-odd minutes and we get a last-minute equaliser, I'll take that all day long. So, but big up, Anthony. The Bertie 1008 says, greetings all. Let's be positive for a win today to continue the streak. 2 Premier League wins in 2. Let's make it 3. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Absolutely love that. The Bertie, big yourself up, my man. We have Nick in the building. He says, Sean Butler, it's about 5 hours of the Davo and Shawnee B Power Connect. And I'm in love every minute. Big up, Nick. Yeah, of course, look, we will be bringing you through to the watch along today as well. Derek Hutchins said, good afternoon, David and Sean. Let's smash Man United out of the park. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Derek. Let's get at them nice and early. And Nick, he has all the scoreboard, the timer and everything taken care of for today's watch along. So you big guys can sync up with us. Big up to Nick. And we have Andrew Hammond. I'm a United fan. Big up, Sean and David. Should be a good game. Andrew, it should be a good game. Let me know if it is true about Bruno Fernandes. If he is out, my man, if you know that. Wayne Bonner says, come on, you Spurs. 3-1 win. Come on, you Spurs. Tottenham till we die. Victory is ours. Big up, Wayne. I really do hope so. Look, a lot of the betting platforms, I don't know, might have changed today, but up until today, had us all at United as favourites, nearly every single one of them, to go to take the win today. So hopefully we can upset the apple cart, Wayne. Big yourself up, my man. Krista Thompson says, good morning, everyone, and big up from Savannah, Georgia. Come on, you Spurs. Big
Lovely
up,
part of the world.
Big up, Savannah. Never been there. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there. It's beautiful, yeah. Wow. Absolutely awesome part of the world, yeah. Lovely.
So nice, there you are, Krista. You're very jealous. Sean's jealous and you're from an awesome part of the world. What more do you want? Good introduction. Big up, Krista. Hope you're keeping well. Harry says, it's game day. Don't worry, boys. It's only United. Look, they do have the players to turn it on when necessary. Kevin K. It's Saturday, Sean, 12th March 2022.
Cheers, Kevin.
That's funny. Christopher Howard says 2-1 Spurs. Ash says celebrating since last 2 days. The downfall of plastics is beautiful. Yeah, honestly, Luke Shaw, he breaks down more than the horse and cart carrying the Chelsea team to Lille for Champions League football. Ash, yeah, look, it's absolutely beautiful seeing it crumble lately. It really is. Really, really is. Gagoom in the building. Big up, Gagoom. It's good to see you. You and Dark Sunji, let me know what time it is for you guys. Absolutely crazy people getting up at this time. Joseph says, we need a win today. Good afternoon, and come on, you Spurs. Big up, Joseph. Let's go, my man. And then we have El Saeed. It's the game to win. Don't let us down. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely love it. Big up, El Saeed. We really do need that win today, my man. And Krista Thompson says Savannah is the Ireland of Georgia. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. I'll have to look it up on Google later on. So I will.
Not sure it rains quite as much in Savannah as it does in Ireland.
Probably doesn't. Probably doesn't. But look, guys, we're going to get into it. I'm going to tell everybody everything they need to know, and then we're going to get into a good discussion on today's game. Of course, we are away at Old Trafford. Kickoff is at 5:30 p.m. The referee is Jonathan Moss, and in the VAR room, it is Andre Mariner. So hopefully two experienced officials, hopefully the two of them can get it right between them. Don't want any dodgy decisions given United way. I know they're going to try their best. So we have to hold them accountable if they do. For the guys over in the USA, if you want to catch the game, it is on Peacock. In Canada, it's on DAZN. And in the UK and Ireland, it is on Sky Sports, a.k.a. Fraud Sports. The watch-along starts at 5:15, myself and Shawnee. Make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be an absolute whopper, especially if we're winning. The joys we're going to have, the banter we're going to have. Yeah. And guys, if you want more of this stuff, just follow me over to We Are Tottenham TV. Starting at 4 o'clock is the pre-match pump-up, where everyone just goes ballistic. It's like a free-for-all, to be honest with you guys. So, that's everything you need to know about today. Tottenham, we are 7th with 45 points. Our last 5 games, we've won 3, lost 2. Spurs have suffered 37 Premier League defeats to United. No side has beaten them more. It has beaten us more in this division. So, look, United is not it's not a great fixture for us usually to pick up points, but the tide is turning of late. All 4 of Tottenham's Premier League wins at Old Trafford have come in their past 9 visits, including 6-1 loss last season to us. Tottenham have won 4 of our last 6 Premier League away games. And we do have a record of 7 wins and 7 defeats from 14 matches in 2022. So kind of highlights the inconsistency we are having this year. Antonio Conte has 4 wins from his 6 meetings with Manchester United, but has lost on both visits to Old Trafford. So that's good, and it's not so good. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Harry Kane has scored 93 times in 137 Premier League away games, and another goal would see him equal Wayne Rooney's record in the competition, who leads it with 94 away goals. So that'll be absolutely brilliant for Harry Kane to maybe equal or break that away goal record in the Premier League at Old Trafford today. And Kane has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 top-flight appearances at Old Trafford. United, they sit 5th with 47 points. Their last 5, they've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. United could win 3 consecutive league games against Tottenham for the first time since a run of 4 between April 2009 and October 2010. United have gone 3 games without winning all competitions, drawn 2, losing 1. The worst run since they went without 6 between September and October 2019. Man United have won 4 of the last 7 home league matches, though, under Wreck-It Ralph. A win on Sunday would ensure United become the first club to reach 400 home Premier League victories, so we don't want that to happen. Cristiano Ronaldo has 4 goals and 3 assists in his last 5 Premier League appearances against Tottenham, but he also has scored 6 against Spurs for both Real Madrid and Man United in his last 6 games as well. So he loves a game against Tottenham. A bit of team news for everybody. Of course, Oliver Skip is still out with his groin injury. Jaffa Tanganga is out with his knee injury. And Ryan Sessegnon, and Antonio Conte said in the press conference, he has had a scan and it's a muscular problem. Maybe we'll see him after the international break. So it's looking like Sessegnon is out for another while, which is not great for us. He was really starting to pick up a head of steam, starting to maybe play well. So it'd be confidence shattering for him. So I just hope it's not a reoccurrence of the hamstring injury that's kept him out for so long. For United, Ronaldo is fit again. Look, I expect him to start, but there's people that don't know whether he'll start Cavani and save Ronaldo for Champions League during the week or vice versa. But Ronaldo is fit again and probably will start. Rafael Varane does return after being out with COVID-19. Luke Shaw is out. Scott McTominay is also expected to miss the game. And there's rumours that Bruno Fernandes might miss it as well. So there you have it, guys. There's absolutely everything everybody needs to know. So, look, before I throw any questions at Sean, you just take these 2 super chats. Dark Song G says it's 2:30 a.m. Sunday kickoff in Korea. It's a decent time. Dark Song G, that is actually not a bad time. And same as Kaguma here, actually, as well. It's actually not a bad time, to be fair, for you guys. It's actually a lot earlier than usual for you guys as well, to be fair. So maybe you don't need the Red Bull today. Maybe you need an out drink, and they help you sleep after the game. But big up Dark Song G and big up Kaguma. Just take a few more. We have Trevor Whitfield. I have lived 9 miles from Newcastle all my life, and I've followed Spurs since 1958 when I was 9 years old. Come on, you Spurs. Wow, big up, Trevor. Honestly, I hope you still have loads of tea towels because I know that, up there, the Newcastle fans were wearing tea towels and all for a while. So hopefully you have enough to be able to dry the dishes and stuff like that, Trevor. Pick yourself up, my man. Paul Mansbridge, big up Spurs and the Irish Hotspur. Big up, Paul, my man. Hope you're keeping well. Rachel Vida, it's good to see you in. Trans United FC, let's beat them girls. Oh, Rachel, I love it. I love it. Dark Song G says John Moss is a terrible ref. He is so slow and his positioning is so poor. Dark Song G's been on ref watch anyway.
I know. Like, Dark Song G is insane. I thought he knows stats about everything to do with Tottenham, but he also seems to know everything about anything to do with Tottenham.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Dark Sung Ji is a fully qualified referee and stuff like that. It really wouldn't. But he says, I've seen him ruin counter-attacking plays. Isn't Moss the ref from Palace away? I can't remember back that far. I can barely remember what I'd done last night, to be honest with you, Dark Sung Ji. But I love it. Dark Sung Ji is also a ref watch. I love it. I knew someone would finally pick up on all the refs that I've been spouting out all year.
Yeah, he was the referee, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, look, hopefully, if you want something between them lips there, it's not the whistle and it's a sausage sandwich. That would be absolutely nice. Big up, Dark Sung G. Hope you're keeping well, brother. Hope you're keeping well, my man. Everybody, make sure you do smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Big push for 7K is on. And guys, feel free to get your super chats in and support us along the way throughout the show. It's a great way to support the channel. But guys, do not worry. I know it's a big, bad world out there. The least I ask of you all is just to get your comments in, and we will get them up on screen as we plow along. But
Dave,
Sean,
just before we get going, can I also just thank everybody in the chat, whoever it was, when Dave called out my channel after the last show I was on 594 or something, or 593, smashed through 600 on my channel, and I've not done a stream apart from yours since, so it's all because of you guys. Thank you so much. 600 was a big number for me, so I really appreciate everyone who hit the like or subscribe button to my channel that day. Thank you, mate.
Legends, absolute legends, guys. Making dreams come true. That's what it's all about. Ash says Spurs always win when I like your stream. So there you are, everybody. Everybody has to like it because Spurs win. Absolutely love that. But Shawnee, my man, Spurs have won two. We've won 2 of our last 3 Premier League matches at Man United, losing 1. As many as we have in our first 26 visits to Old Trafford in the competition. Has the tide started to turn in this fixture in recent years?
Yeah, it has. It definitely has. Like Man United are not. I mean, those stats. Look, stats tell a story, but you have to factor in all of the waves and the volatility of major variables that you don't remember. The further you go back with the stats, the less relevant they become. Yeah. And so rather than obviously it's a fact that Man United have beaten us more than any other team or whatever the stat was that you said, but since Alex Ferguson's era, Man United are not the team that they were. I think we're a team on the upward trajectory. I think at the moment they're in disarray, absolute disarray. And so like the tide has definitely turned. But I think on any given day against Manchester United, you never know what team's going to turn up. And it's the same with Tottenham, right? So today could be one of those, it's a wild card. We're talking about the bets earlier, and I'm sure we'll go through some of that as the game goes on for Moondog's purposes. But I feel like I don't think that form or historical data around this game matters much today. I think it really all bets are off based on stats and data. The tide is turning. They're not as difficult as they were, but I think that today's just forget about all that stuff and just focus on who's going to play, who's going to turn up on both teams, and whether it's going to be a dogged fight, a 0-0, 1-0 snatch and grab, or whether it's going to be a 5-6 goal thriller. Hoping for the latter, but
yeah, same here. Look, for me, since Ferguson's reign on the Premier League is gone, it's kind of like, look, it's not just our record that would have improved. It's been everybody else's, to be fair, But look, the tide is turning, and today is definitely a day to make sure that it keeps turning in our favour. On your bike, Scott says, the legends, David and Sean, big up, lads, just finished work, going home to get ready for game day. I love it. And then Catman Jess also says, Sean, Tottenham Walks was such a genius idea. Big up, Bugsy.
She gets more love than I do, the bloody little git, and she's getting arrogant with it as well, Jess.
Oh, I love it.
She knows. Something about her knows that she's being recorded, and she's like, anyway, sorry.
No, I love that. But look, Sean, we are coming off the back of a couple of big league wins over Leeds and Everton. Does today's game provide a different sort of test against a much better opposition?
Yeah, it does, mate. Listen, you can only play what's in front of you, Dave, and we smashed both of those teams. They are the weakest teams. I know that, the league table doesn't lie at the moment. I think that by the end of the season, one of Leeds or Everton will join Norwich and Watford. I think Burnley are going to get out of trouble. Everton was so bad. It was, it's difficult to take too much away. Apart from, it was great to see more confidence building for people like Doherty, the synergies that are starting to develop between Højbjerg and Kulusevski and Bentancur, and it's just everything's looking great. But in terms of like how confident can you be for smashing Leeds and Everton, you can. Well, I think you should have definitely take confidence, but also I think you got to take it with a little bit of pinch of salt. Manchester United are a different outfit. I still think Manchester United are in disarray, Dave. I'm not interested to hear whether you think that Manchester United are, on the decline, or whether we're going to see a rebound from them today. Because when they've, I think the most important thing to remember is that they're on the back of a humiliation from Manchester City. And, I was hoping that they would have played their Champions League game after Man City before us, because they could have got that kind of monkey off their chest, monkey off their back, before they played us, but because they haven't, I think that's something we got to be wary of today. What are your thoughts?
Look, I definitely think we have to be wary that they're going to come out. Look, their pride is hurt, so we have to be wary. Look, they're in complete disarray. Look, Sean, Pogba has been twerking for Real Madrid since he's arrived. Wan-Bissaka, he can't seem to afford the fuel prices to be able to get forward down their right-hand side. You've got Mallet Head Maguire, he's all over the shop. You've got Lindelof. They should just put Lindt chocolate on the back of his jersey. He melts under the heat, Sean. Look,
yes.
Look, to be fair, though, Shawnee, their defence it opens up more than when the Red Sea opened up and parted for Moses to go through. It's absolutely ridiculous. You've got.
Do you write these down before you come on, or do you make them up on the spot?
No, just come to me, lad. Just come to me. You've got Ronaldo lining up one of them celebrity charity boxing matches with Maguire for the captaincy. You've got Rashford. He's been dismayed with Man United over the last couple of years, Shawnee. He's turned into a politician. You've got Fred. He's going to miss the United fans singing I'm loving it, because the other half of Mac Fred is out. So he's going to be absolutely raging. And it's just... Look,
Save some for later. I'm sure you got more. Save some.
Look, not even Putin can get these guys to fall into line, to be fair, Sean. They just can't. Just cannot. So for me, look, they are in absolute disarray, lad. But saying all of that, I know I take the piss, right? Oh, actually, no. And you've got Wreck-It Ralph as well. Want to be Alex Ferguson, but I'm gonna hold back on that for the pre-match pop-up on when you're Tottenham TV. But look, as much as disarray they're in, Sean, we have to be aware that they have such talent in the forward areas. They can't just turn it on like that. And they are going to be hurt from that City game.
Yeah,
look, they had a good first half in that City game. They posed a bit of a threat. But the second half, they just completely fell off it, gave up, stopped running, no shots on target, this, that, and the other. And they do seem to be developing a pattern, a bit like what we were having for a little while, where it was like you were playing one good half and then one absolute crap half, but that crap half was costing you.
Yeah.
So for me, I think you get outside this first 20 minutes with United throwing absolutely everything at us, because I do believe they will. You get out of that, I think United then become a bit nervous. I think that backline becomes more nervous. I think United's backline then becomes a bit rocky and a bit shaky. With the clinical form that our strikers are in, Shawnee, I expect us to kind of maybe get at them, put one or two of them counter-attacks away very, very quickly, and put United to bed. Because if we score the first goal today, that crowd at Old Trafford completely turns. It turns toxic, it turns on the team, and it becomes another long afternoon for them.
Even if they don't score in the first 20 minutes, Dave, it's one of those things where the fans are going to be so impatient. If we can just hold tight for 20 minutes, we haven't got a score necessarily, but just get dogged and let them frustrate themselves. Yeah. And then I think that they'll just get on. The fans will be just, like you say, it'll be such a toxic environment for them. It'll be horrible.
Oh, it will be. And look, for me, I actually think, I think Spurs will probably go on and win this game in the second half, is what my feeling is. Because looking at United team, I don't think they're that fit, to be honest with you, lad. I've looked at them. I think the fitness levels are around there somewhere along the line. I think it will cost them. I don't think the last 90 minutes, and I think maybe, hopefully, our fitness comes to our rescue in the second half, and I think we go on and win that game. To be honest with you, even if we're 1-0 at half time, I expect us to still come out and win that game in the second half. I expect United to completely capitulate. Dark Sun G says we have to thank Man United for Conte by beating them today. No, look, 100%, my man. 100% we have to thank Man United for El Sacco. Absolutely love. Big up, Dark Sun G.
Do you think that we're going to be playing again? Because I think that one of the key areas for us is down their left, or down their flanks, right? If Ronaldo's playing and he's not playing completely up front by himself, either way, if you've got Sancho's woeful defending, you're going to be attacking Telles, or however you say his name, down their left. And whether it's Wan-Bissaka or it's Dalot, I think that's where I think Sonny's going to have so much success tonight. Don't you think, Dave?
Yeah. Look, for me, I think he will. Look, whether it's Lindelof or Maguire that plays, I think Son is going to have a lot of joy, especially running in behind. I think so slow. Get Son running in behind, they're so slow. He's going to have so much joy. But even on the ball, I think his feet are too quick for Lindelof, Maguire, whoever plays over that way. Look, Telles, look, he's come to United. I haven't really been too impressed with him since they've signed him, to be honest with you. Look, whoever Son's up against, I think he'll put them to the sword. And look, to be fair, Son hasn't been his usual self, but he's still affecting the game, which I absolutely love. And today, he could just be ready to explode. It wouldn't surprise me if you see Harry Kane dropping back a lot and then getting Sonny to do the runs in behind and exploiting that place, that space in behind, and getting them centre-backs turned at every opportunity, because they don't want to go in behind. Them centre-backs, because they're so slow and so crap, they want to see everything. They want everything played.
Yeah.
They do not want to be turned. So I do think Sonny will have an absolute field day today. I do. I really do.
Do you think the Man United then are going to sit back and do the like they're just going to do the low block the entire time?
I'll be very surprised, because to be fair to United, they have actually pressed effectively under Ralf Rangnick at times, but they just do not take their chances. It's been a common theme. They're not taking their chances. I actually expect United just to come out all guns blazing. I don't expect them. I'd be very surprised if they sit in, especially being the home team.
I think that this for me, it's like they're the home team. If they do sit in deep, then their crowd are going to get right on top of them, going like, "What are you doing? This is just Tottenham," kind of thing. But if they put Ronaldo in the team, they can't press effectively with Ronaldo in the team, because Ronaldo doesn't press well. So if he starts, and I'm terrified of Ronaldo, he does so well against Tottenham. I know we're going to talk about him in a second, but if he does, if he starts, they can't press. But then they can't really do the low block too much, because the fans will be all over them. But if they don't do the low block, if they do try and push out, then they're vulnerable to the lob, like you say, to Kane's balls over the top. It's going to be a fascinating encounter to see what Rangnick decides to set them up as and how we counter them.
Yeah, no, it definitely will be. And look, I actually want to talk a bit about the midfield shortly as well, because I think that's going to be a fascinating battle. I expect it to be 3 against 2, United 3 against Star 2 and stuff like that. I do want to touch on that. We'll just take some of these super chats. Dark Song G says, "Thank God for Ben returning. Imagine using Winksy today." Look, all I'm going to say is, if he's in the lineup, we lose the game unless it's in a midfield 3. It's that simple. Again, we're going to touch on it. There could be, look, does he switch to a midfield 3 to put an extra body in there? Or can Bentancur and Højbjerg outwork Fernandes and Pogba? Remains to be seen, Dark Song G. But hopefully we don't see Winksy at all. Mr. Nick says, "I hope they win on my birthday." Well, happy birthday, Mr. Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, man. Crack open that bottle of champagne. Enjoy yourself, my man. Enjoy it. The bottom dude says, 2 things worry me today: Man United on set pieces and Man United's midfield. Also, it's a test for Doherty and Reguilon defensively today. Absolutely spot on. Well broken down. Down here, the bottom dude. Look, set pieces. We'll get into this one now, and it's to do with Romero. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love how aggressive this guy is, Sean.
Yeah. But
do you think he needs to kind of refrain from being that aggressive today? Because, look, if Bruno Fernandes is starting, I expect him to be coming up Romero's side an awful lot of the time. And that guy is just looking for a soft free kick to be given away. Absolutely.
And he'll find them from Romero.
Yeah. Look, we've seen time and time again, we struggle from set pieces. We switch off. Is that cause for concern today? Even Romero picking up an early yellow.
Yeah. I said it on my morning walk this morning. Like, I genuinely think that Romero, for me, as much as I absolutely love him, and I call him the pain merchant, right? Because he deals in pain. He likes to deal in pain for himself. He hangs on to the ball. He drags the ball back, looking for someone to smash into him, and he loves dishing it out, which is a fantastic asset to have. But with someone so young, his talent, I think, is ahead of his composure. And if you watched against Everton, when he absolutely, cream crackered against Richarlison, which was a beautiful thing to see, but it was a filthy foul. And he could have got a red on another day with a different ref. He could have got a red for the foul. But then about a minute later, or 2 minutes later, he pulled back on the shirt of their good young talent, Gordon. And he could have been off, right? And if he got 2 yellows in that quick succession, he wouldn't have been playing today. And then you could go, well, then what? Then we're back to playing Sanchez or whatever. And so he's a I think so much of today is going to depend on him.
Yeah.
I think if he is sloppy, if he's not absolutely on point and doesn't, because I think Man United, to your point, Dave, I think not just him, not just Fernandes, but I think that a lot of the Manchester United gameplay will be to try and draw fouls, because they'll know that Tottenham are vulnerable from set pieces, and they'll know that there's certain players who are more than happy to go sliding in. And he's, 7 times out of 10, his timing is spectacular. But the 3 times that it's not, they're usually yellow card offences. So he needs to be careful. And I hope that Conte is going to have a word with him in the, today, and say, just tone it down a little bit. Do your thing, but don't do your thing, because if we lose the game, I wouldn't be surprised if it was via him either getting sent off or a yellow card early that changes his ability to defend to his level, or a mistake that he causes that leads to a free kick that leads to a header from Slabhead, whatever his name is, Maguire,
Malahhead, my man.
Malahhead, yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's still any more on Bruno Fernandes and David De Gea. Still not really seeing anything different from what was reported earlier on. But no, you're absolutely spot on when it comes to Romero and a couple of players there. Hopefully Conte does have a word with them, because look, United, Bruno Fernandes will be looking for them all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And look, as far as the midfield, the bottom two, it's going to be a very, very interesting battle. I know you said yesterday you're worried about Paul Pogba. Look, you probably have every right to beat the guy who's 9 assists this season, my man. So, look, it's definitely something we have to watch out for. It is a test for Doherty and Reguilon. I will get on to Doherty in just a couple of minutes, and Reguilon, actually, the bottom duty. So we will get on to them. Look, for me, it'd be a very interesting call, and we will ask Sean in a couple of minutes, but it'd be an interesting call, because against Man City, when we played that defensive formation, that low block and the counter-attacking style, we started with Emerson. But can you really afford to drop Doherty with the form he's in and the confidence he has at the minute? So very interesting discussion to have the bottom duty, my man. Big yourself up. Really appreciate support. Then we have Kaguma, Sonny's goal today. Let's go. Absolutely love it, Kaguma. Big yourself up. And I really do hope Sonny does get his goal today. Kaguma, it would be nice to see that happening. Absolutely love it. Big yourself up, Kaguma. Really, really do.
I'm going to check the price. Check the price on the first goal scorer for Sonny. Here we go.
I love it. But come on, Spurs. Let's get after them. Sean, actually, one thing I do want to ask you, my man. Ralf Rangnick said in his press conference that if Burnley and Wolves can beat Tottenham, they can also beat us in their own stadium. Is that a bit disrespectful towards Tottenham? Playing these shit Alex Ferguson mind games in the press?
Listen, it's all part of the shithousery, right? Like, fair, you've got to find a way to win. I don't mind it. I quite like it, actually. I find, I don't mind mind games. I don't mind comments getting sent that said that kind of that cause a little stir. Listen, if that's all he's got, if that's what he's going to rely on as a manager to try to spice things up a little bit, then it tells me that if he's willing to say that to the press, then he said that to his team. Guys, Burnley beat them. Wolves beat them. Southampton beat them. You could beat them. That says to me that he's terrified that because he doesn't want to remind everyone that we smashed the team, your local rivals, who absolutely humiliated you 6 days ago. So listen, let him do what he's got to do. He's a nobody, in my opinion. He might be a decent director of football, but he's a rubbish manager. And listen. Let him say it, man. It might be. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's part and parcel. I encourage that stuff. It makes for good talking points on shows like this. So.
Do you know what, lad? If it came out from Antonio Conte, I'd be standing behind it, applauding it, telling him to take a bow, everything else. But when it's saying that Tottenham, it fucks me right off, man. It really does. It pisses me off. It's like, in fact, as soon as I read that, and it was late last night, after I finished putting this together and all, and I was just sitting there, I was like, I cannot wait to turn him into a kind of pedigree chump, lad. I really can't. You've got add spice to this game.
100%, and that's why I encourage it, because I think those sorts of things, I don't know who they're supposed to benefit. Like, no, it's not such a terrifying comment that the Tottenham players are going to go, oh no, like. Wreck-It Ralph has reminded us that no one's going to be upset by it. If anything, the players are going to go, okay, bro. Now you made it personal. Now check out how well we're going to play. So yeah, I encourage it. It wasn't good enough. He hasn't got that. His shithousery level isn't 10 out of 10. So it's okay if you can really play good. Like Jose Mourinho, peak Jose at Chelsea.
Yeah,
he was a mind game expert, and he could get into the heads of players. But that sort of thing is just low. It's weak. It's weak, and it will help. It won't help him. It will help us if anything.
Oh no, it definitely will. It definitely will. But no, honestly, he's like, it's that embarrassing. He's even embarrassing at mind games. United are embarrassing at mind games right now. They're trying to get back to the Fergie era, and Wreck-It Ralph was sitting there last night. What would Ferguson do? He's such an idiot.
Maybe give him a call. Sir Alex, I got the press conference in a minute. What would you have done? And Alex had a couple of glasses of scotch. Oh, this is what I say. Oh, that's a Scotch accent. That's a really bad impression of Scotch accent.
No, 100%. Anyway. But I'd say Ferguson sat there, seen it. He was like scratching his head. He's like, that's not how you deliver it. Honestly. How is this guy in charge of United? He can't even shithouse people. What a joke. What a joke he is.
Exactly.
Wreck-It Ralph. Fraud.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Dark Zone G, if they go 100% today, they're in trouble. Look, I think United are in trouble. Look, they come at us. I think it plays into our hands. Dark Zone G, my man. Big yourself up.
I think he's saying against Atletico Madrid. I think the point is, I think he's saying should Man United have one eye on the Madrid game on Tuesday, because that's a 2-2 fixture. That's in the balance, right? So, what's more important to them, beating Tottenham today or getting through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League? I think that's what he's saying there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I just seen ATM and I was raging. I wanted to move on quickly because I lost my bank card, so it was pissing me off. Big up, Dark Sun G. Hope you keep him well, man. But you're 100% correct. It'd be interesting to see what sort of lineup they do go with today, with that game coming up. Dark Sun G says, Bentancur and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg kept Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan quiet, so why not? Yeah, exactly. Of course they could. And look, my thinking is that they will outwork Pogba and Fernandes. They're not the most hard-working players. And then you're left with McFred. I mean, yeah, that guy who runs around, he's like a Duracell bunny, but...
that wasn't Bentancur, was it? It was Winksy. Against Man City, Winksy played.
No, Bentancur played. Bentancur and Højbjerg.
Did he?
Yeah, Winks didn't even get on the field. Winks came on against Burnley and then was dropped. He came on...
Oh, Burnley was before. Yes, right. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No, big up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support, brother. Really,
I'm feeling brave, like challenging Dark Sun G on a historical moment.
Challenge everyone. It's what it's about, my man. It's what it's about. Challenge absolutely.
He knows who played. He wouldn't make a mistake. Come on, Sean.
He has a big. Do you know what? Challenge everybody, but Dark Sun G. He's a guy that has about 6 computers and he has all the stats and everything up.
Yeah, 100%.
Left watching. Ralf Rangnick, Ralph watching. Tottenham.
Yeah.
He has the whole lot.
100%.
The bottom dude says we need a Bentancur masterclass today. The Uruguayan magic should be on display. Look, we really do need the Uruguayan Dembele to turn up today. He's going to be crucial to what we have. I was very impressed with his all-round game against Everton. Look, I know it was Everton, but to drop deep the way he did, play the ball for Ben Davies ahead of him to kind of get the first goal in motion against Everton. You wouldn't see Harry Winks do that. Yeah. You saw from me, and then even some of the times getting on the ball, just his tempo setting, he's everything we wanted to bottom do it. Absolutely everything we wanted.
It's not just that, Dave. It's the confidence that his presence gives to Højbjerg.
Yes,
to be a little bit more broad with his own positional play. When Højbjerg's playing next to Winks, Højbjerg doesn't trust Winks, in my opinion, the way I see it, and so Højbjerg has to stay, has to be locked into his position. So if Højbjerg trusts Bentancur, which I think he should and does, it allows both of them to know that there's somebody behind them. There's someone that can, if one of them makes a mistake, the other one's there. With Winksy, defending is not part of his resume. So Højbjerg can be a better player because he's got more trust in Bentancur to do his job.
No, absolutely spot on. And look, he's not bad for a bench warmer, is he? To be fair, the ball doing not bad for a Juve bench warmer, my man.
15 million quid, 18 million quid. Like, what a bargain.
Actually, it is. It should go down as transfer of the season, in my opinion, especially if we get top 4. It really should. But big up the bottom, Duta. Really appreciate support. Ellie says, guys, are we going to win today? Are we going to win today? We're going to win today, Ellie, I think. I can't
We're
wait.
going to win today.
Cannot wait to meet up with you for the game. Big up, Ellie. Really appreciate it. Kaguma says, Bentancur is fighting. Let's go. Sean, what would you say to Kaguma?
I think he doesn't. I don't think he's a fighter. I think he's almost like one of those. I know he's not Spanish, but one of those like dancers, like flamenco dancers that kind of his partner when he's dancing is the ball. He drags it back. He puts him in fine. He just gets it. He gets the rhythm going. I don't think I've never seen him get aggressive. I've never seen him Kaguma get any throw in a decent like a nasty tackle. I haven't seen him do it. He doesn't need to. Yeah, he's that comfortable. The ball is like an extension of his own foot, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
No, it is. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy with him since he's come in. He's kind of shown, he's coming in and showing what Harry Winks was supposed to be doing, to be honest with you, Kaguma. So I'm absolutely delighted to show them up. Let's big up Bobby K's in the building. Good morning, panel, everyone in the chat. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man. Danny says, apparently there's no Bruno, McTominay, or Shaw. Yeah, Shaw's out, McTominay's out, and Bruno, I'm still waiting for it to be confirmed. And Catman Jess says, Sky Sports, 20 minutes ago, De Gea doubtful, most likely Henderson in today.
Wow.
Nice. I'll take that.
You take it, but Henderson's also, they've got a fantastic backup goalie, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Look, Henderson's a very good goalkeeper, but hopefully a bit ring rusty. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. Ben Kaufman says, afternoon, everyone. It's game day. Big up, everyone. Big up, Ben. It's good to see you in, my man. I hope you are keeping well, lad. Hope you're keeping well. I hope you're having fun, making plenty of coffee. The roast master, I call Ben now, the roast master. But big up, Kaufman. It's good to see you in the building, my man. Really is. But so that we've touched on Conte, on Wreck-It Ralph and his shit Ferguson impression. So we're going to move on to Antonio Conte, who has now publicly confirmed his desire to remain at Tottenham Hotspur next season, saying, I am committed to this club for another year. The club wanted this type of situation, and I accepted it because it was good to get to know each other. After 4 months, I think the club have understood the way I want to work, and I understand the club. Sean, I know you've been happy with Conte, but you have questioned some of the stuff that maybe has been going on, which rightly so. Are you now happy that he has put an end to his speculation, though?
Well, there was more to the quote, right? There was a little bit more it was about another two or three paragraphs, and the quote went on to as much to say, basically, I'm very happy here as long as the club match my ambition.
Yeah.
Right. So I still believe that there's caveats, but on the quote that you just mentioned, it sounds like there have been discussions backstage, and he's saying, I get your side, but if you want me to be me, then I need a little bit of me. I need a little bit of my style. And and it sounds like there's a little bit of like meeting in the middle. And that's why I'm fully confident that Paratici is going to work right now on some of the early deals. So I think that in the summer, there'll be early deals. Maybe some of those free transfers will be locked up. And hopefully if we get the stadium naming rights deals and all that stuff, which looks closer and closer by the day, and that'll be a bit more in the kitty. And I think that he's getting there. But one thing I would say with him is that, it's just worth remembering that on the back of good results, he's more positive with his comments than he is on the back of bad results. And, if something horrible happens today, I'd be interested to see what if his comments remain mild and not too disappointed about the game, but not changing his future mindset. But for now, everything that whole press conference where he spoke about it sounded really positive. It sounded like there's been, trying to read between the lines, it sounded like there's been lots of things that are happening in the background, and that there's a meeting of minds. People understand. He understands what we're about. They understand now what he's about, and hopefully there's going to be some kind of meeting in the middle, and there'll be a lot of money to be made available for whatever he needs. Him and Paratici go to work.
You've already started planning then for the summer, Sean, in terms of targets and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I genuinely do. Wow. I think that was the thing that he said a few weeks back. You can't wait until I'm paraphrasing because I can't recall, but you can't wait. We should be now making that stuff happen. Otherwise, what's Paratici getting paid 120 grand a week for if he only starts his job in June and finishes in August and then starts again on January the 1st and finishes on February the 1st? So he must be doing all these things behind the scenes. But I think that there's just more in that regard, and hopefully my reading of it will be proven right. That as soon as the season's over and the transfer window opens, we come out with a bang and we sign someone early, whether it's a free transfer, whether it's a Christensen, a Rudiger from Chelsea, or whether it's someone completely separate, whatever, but just make some statements early in the season, in the summer, so that we can all get, this is it. Conte's had his moment, he's had his word, and now the plan is in place and there's money available and we've got this new synergy. That's what I want to see.
No, do you know what? I definitely agree with you. I definitely listening to or reading it late last night. It did seem that there has been discussions. It kind of, I don't think he would have came out, committing himself for another year if there wasn't discussions behind the scenes. If he wasn't happy with the targets, like I'd say, what happened is he's starting forward certain targets. He's like, I need these. And they probably agreed upon about going after him this summer. And I think that's probably why he's come out and maybe committing himself to the club for another year. But it is good it's good right now for him to kind of do it as well, purely because, we're in a top 4 race. We kind of need everybody together. Look, some people out there will say it's this was my first thought as well, to be honest with you. Bit convenient with the season ticket renewals coming up as well,
Oh, maybe that. Yeah. You're such a cynical man.
We'll wait and see. Yeah. We'll wait and see how it pans out. The ball do it says, I guess Conte rattled the gegenpresser by saying Man United was good enough to be competing for the Premier League title. Italian mind games on song. I love that. The ball do it. I love it. Look, you can never mess with Conte. You're never going to outdo Conte. Conte seems like the guy that he'd even hold on to something for like 30 years. And then as soon as he sees you, he'll do something just to get one back up on you. He never loses. Never loses in the long run, the bottom doer.
Dave, I'm so sorry, mate. My door's just rung. Let me just... I'll be 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. But big up the bottom doer. Absolute legend. Look, Conte's mind games are 10 times better, my man. 10 times better than the gegenpressers, but big up the bottom, dude. I really appreciate it. We need to, hopefully there's loud from the away fans today about hopefully singing Conte's name, my man. Dark Son G says fighting is a Korean word, Korean English word meaning let's go. Wow. I didn't know that now. I didn't know that, but look, absolutely love it. Let's go fighting. It's this, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Big up, Dark Song G, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. Really do appreciate it. Let's see who else we have here. We have Dermot. He says, big up, guys. Let's get a win today to back up to the Everton one. Come on, Spurs. Let's get a win to make me feel better. By the Dave super chat's not working for me. Don't know why, man. Big up, Sean. Yeah, Dermot, I don't know. I see a lot of people saying that lately, that it's working, it's not working for them and stuff like that. I don't actually know what's going on or what the problem is, to be honest with you, Dermot. But look, not to worry, my man. It's only there if people want to be able to do it anyway. But look, it's all about the win today. And look, I really do hope you feel better, my man. Dermot is a bit under the weather, guys. So everybody in the chat, this community, we all rally around each other. Everybody in the chat, just give Dermot a bit of loving in there today. But big up, my man. Hopefully you feel better, and I'll ring you later on tonight. And then we have Dark Sun G. Aldon Para has two though, is ship out Sanchez. Oh, what Paratici has to do is ship out Sanchez and Winks. Look, for me, I think two of them are on the list straight away to go, to be honest with you, Dark Sun G. Look, Sanchez. Look, maybe you could keep him as a groundsman. He seems to like the grass. He likes lying down, falling flat on his face, eating it. He likes sliding across it. So he probably would be a good groundsman for us, to be honest with you, because he knows every single inch of that turf. So he'd be absolutely brilliant groundsman. Whereas Winks, look, for me, I wouldn't even trust the guy to wipe down the tables in the canteen. I really wouldn't. I'd still fear that he'd do it wrong or stuff like that, Dark Sound G. But big yourself up, my man. Really appreciate the support, brother. You're a top man. Top man. Everybody, make sure you keep smashing that like button. Make sure you do keep smashing that subscribe button. Make sure between the show you do pop out, get over to Spurs Talk Show on YouTube, all one word. Smash the subscribe button over there, and then come back. And guys, feel free to keep getting your super chats in and keep supporting the channel, guys. It's a massive, massive help. But look, we're going to keep moving. So that is, we've touched on Antonio Conte, Wreck-It Ralph. Tottenham have won 4 of their last 6 Premier League away games on the road, Shawnee. Do you see another victory for Tottenham on the road today?
Yeah, I do, mate. But I think it's one of those games where, if you're going with your heart, you always think Tottenham are going to win. And there's no reason to think that Tottenham on top form can't beat Manchester United. Even if Man United put out a good performance, I still think we have now got, with the 11 that are starting, a better 11 than United. Their best player, Ronaldo, is no longer as good as our best player in Kane. Their second best player, Fernandes, is not as good as our second best player, Sonny. They don't have Bentancur or anything like, whoever's going to be in their midfield. So I think on man for man, it's tough. It's close. There's moments of magic that could change the game. But I also think, Dave, that it's one of those games where it could be a 6-goal thriller. Could be a massive, there could be like 4-2, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. It could be on either way. Or it could also be a really boring game. It could be a game where both teams sit back and don't want to give anything away. And it could be, so do I, but it's worth pointing out, like, it could be a 0-0, really boring game, because just like the way that Tottenham and Middlesbrough started, if you remember, what's his name at Middlesbrough, the manager, I forget, Wilder, really, really smart manager. And he decided to set up and say, well, no, just let Tottenham have the ball, because Tottenham, they're better when they don't have the ball. And it was like for the first half, both teams were just sat back. And it was just being passed around. It was so boring. One of the most boring first halves of football I've ever seen. And then in the end, Middlesbrough did a snatch and grab. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I hope it's not, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wreck-It Ralph has got a plan. It could be. Although, like I said earlier, I don't think that will satisfy the fans. But you could see one of those situations where Man United sit back and Tottenham equally sit back. Both teams are trying to let the other person have the ball, because both teams are better on the break. And so I hope that doesn't happen, but there is something that there is in the back of my mind. It could either be a 0-0 or a 1-0 snatch and grab, or it could be I don't think it's going to be like a 2-1. I think it'll be like 0-0, 1-0, or 5 or 6 goals in the game. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Same here. Look, I don't think I could sit through another first half like we did at Middlesbrough, where both teams are sitting off each other. I really don't think I could do that. But look, today definitely has that sort of game about it. I just think with United's humiliating and embarrassing, and the performance they did put in against City, I think they're running the risk with the crowd and the fans in the stadium coming out setting up negatively today, because a lot of them fans would be from the Fergie era, where it was like, lads, it's Spurs. That was the team talk. It's Spurs. You know what I mean? So it'd be very interesting to see what happens. But look, if I was Tottenham, I'd go out there, block it up for the first 10 minutes, make sure you stay in that game that first 10 minutes, and then just get at them. Dark Son G says, our way of form this year is good. 4 wins and 2 losses. This is good. Look, it's not too bad at all. Look, one of them came at Middlesbrough, the other one at Burnley. But we were also in a period of 6 away games at that time. So, you're going to lose a couple of them on the trot, on the road for sure, Dark Son G. But it's actually not bad this year, to be fair. It's our home form that needs to improve. It's our form in the capital, in London. Where
in London we've been awful.
Crap.
Correct. 100% correct.
Yeah, it's been absolutely crap. The bottom dude says, Shaw makes a great point. I feel United would be happy with a draw. The motivational speaker would take a draw to stay afloat.
I appreciate the bottom dude, sir. I like it when people appreciate my points, because sometimes I say them, I don't know if they're waffle or on some sort of point somewhere.
No, you definitely make a point, because Middlesbrough have shown another way of beating us,
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that it is the template, right? Like, give Tottenham the ball. We don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with it. Southampton did it. So it started Southampton away back in January, when they went down to 10 men, when Lassisu, or what his name is, Salisu. When he was clumsy as hell and they went down to 10 men, And then they sat back and contained and did the low block, but they just gave us the ball and we didn't know how to break it down. And then the exact same tactic was employed by Watford. And Watford, they were well worthy of the draw. We got a snatch and grab at the last minute. Southampton did it. Wolves did it. Middlesbrough did it. Burnley did it. Every team that we've lost to has employed the same tactic. Give Tottenham the ball. They don't know what to do with it. And the reason why we beat Manchester City is because Manchester City don't even care about the other team. I'm going to beat Manchester. I'm going to beat the opposition by outplaying them. Leeds are like a super poor man's version of the same like methodology. And Everton, I don't know what Everton were doing. They didn't look like they had any idea. But I just feel like the way to play against Tottenham is to give us the ball and then sit back and see if we can break them down. I don't know if Manchester United will do it, but if they do, then it could be one of those games where Tottenham go, okay, because this is what Tottenham probably foresaw that happening against Middlesbrough. And then we'll give them the ball back. And then that's why it's the first half just flew by with nothing happening because no one was doing anything. So I don't know if Manchester United will do it, but if they do it, then we might have a problem today.
Interesting. Well, there you are, the bottom do it. Two great minds think alike. Yourself and Shawnee, big yourself up, my man. Really appreciate the support. And Dark Sun G also wants in on the action. They're tag teaming you today, Shawnee. He says, Sean, we were poor because we used winks in midfield, remember?
Yeah. No, of course. 100%. You know, there's variables and what's the word? I can't think of the word. There's variables that we're not talking about here. So it's not as simple as just saying, you know, it was the best Spurs 11 that had the ball, couldn't break it down. With Bentancur, I think there's more confidence. I think that allows, as I've already said, Højbjerg to move more. Doherty and Kulusevski have got a good relationship that they didn't have when those losses happened. So we're a different outfit now than we were then. But I still haven't seen us beat a team convincingly when they've sat back and done low block and given us the ball and made us break them down, because I haven't seen us do it yet. Hopefully we can do it today.
No, hopefully, but big up Dark Sun G, my man. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, look, I think we already touched on expecting a reaction from United, Shawnee. Man, United have won 4 of the last 7, 4 of their 7 home league matches under Ralf Rangnick. They are good at home. Should we be expecting a response or the reaction from United after a 4-1 defeat, especially with them being at home?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but Dave, as you've already said, mate, and I'll let you have this one because I've been answering a lot of the first comments. So, but I think yes, you should expect a reaction. But I just don't. I think someone made a really good point earlier. I think it was Dark Sun G, was it, or the bottom dude said about they have to have one eye on the Atletico Madrid game. So it'd be interesting to see whether if they do bring in Ronaldo, I think that it's a whole different kettle of fish as to a team that doesn't have him. I don't want him in the team. But if he's there, how long does he stay on the pitch? Does he come on at halftime or something? Because they have that game against is it Madrid? They've got, isn't it, Atletico Madrid?
Atletico, yeah. So
it's still 2-2, touch and go, that one. So I think you should expect a reaction, but they have to have one eye on the other game as well. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. I think, they're in a bit of a situation. They win today, they still get top 4 in the league. They lose today, it's over. But then if they've gone for it today, they're tired for the Atletico Madrid game. Look, I think they're going out against Atletico Madrid anyway, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think Atletico Madrid will prevail from there. For me, they should be concentrating on today's game. They should be. Look, United have been a team that for many years now, they've been able to handle the league and Europe. They've never really picked between them. You know, but bigger games in Europe, yes, maybe they have filled a bit of a weaker team in the Premier League and got by with it years gone by.
Yeah,
you can't get away with that anymore. And for me, I do expect a reaction from them. I really do. And I think they need the crowd back on side. And I think, look, being at home, I expect them to really go for it for the first 20 minutes. But then again, I could be proven wrong. So look, we'll just have to wait and see. But look, Conte Sean has said since he arrived, Tottenham have improved tactical and technical and in the physical and mental aspects. Now, for me, I would actually agree with that. I think tactically, we're looking a lot more astute. You can see defensively, there's a shape there, there's a unit there. we're not being pulled apart too much anymore. Technically, I think we're seeing big improvements in some of the players. You look at Matt Doherty, look how Kane has elevated his game. Kulusevski, Bentancur, Højbjerg has looked good recently on the ball and stuff like that. So we have improved there. Physically, I actually think we look a lot more better where we're competing with teams now, whereas before we weren't.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sean? Would you disagree with what I'm saying here, or would you agree with it?
Well, have we improved physically? Is he talking about like getting in the gym and becoming stronger? Is that
just all aspects? Yeah, getting in the gym physically, like fitness, mental, technical, tactical. He reckons he's improved the team in all aspects.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there is, like, Conte essentially offered no. Oh, sorry, not Conte. Nuno essentially offered no confidence. Like, none of the players wanted to play for him. Playing under Conte's system, though, is a system that takes time to learn when you haven't played it before. And so I feel like it's taken 3-4 months, which is it's understandable. If he had an entire summer, then we would have probably been ready for, you know, September, maybe not the very start of the season, but sort of September, October time with his system. So it is a part, you know, part of the course. It takes time to learn a new system. We've got players now that are back in that were bought for the right wings. Like Doherty, for example, was a right wing back purchase and then forced to play right back for 2 years. Now we've got better players in better positions to suit the system. And I think that all this stuff is going to kick into gear, mate. The more we do it, the more we play. I think we're going to improve into the season end. There's no chance that we're going to regress under Conte unless there's an injury to a key player. And, you know, if that happens and the team just goes back to a weaker unit with less confidence in it, but with the confidence, I don't know about the physicality. Like, who knows whether or not they're in the gym. The one thing I would say about physicality, Conte's mentioned that Sessegnon's injury is, he thinks it's in part because Sessegnon's such a strong fella and that his body is out of sync with his legs. Like he's too strong for his legs to cope with. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but that's what he suggested the other day. The rest of them, though, maybe that's why he didn't like Brian Hill as well. Maybe that's why Brian Hill was too lightweight, but physically, not so sure.
Do you know what, Sean? I would trust what you said there in terms of what Conte said about Sessegnon on his body, because we have to remember he's the one that physically transformed Romelu Lukaku's shape. You know, they worked with him at Inter and they found out that he had a stomach problem and stuff like that, and it just improved his shape when he was at Inter. He's in the best shape of his life. So I definitely would believe him when he says that, for sure. He seems to have good medical people around him.
Yeah.
And Dark Son G says, lol, after Atletico Madrid they face Liverpool, they have to choose. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Hopefully they go for the Champions League, so Dark Son G. They're not competing with Liverpool. Liverpool are going to wipe the floor with them. They really are, to be honest with you.
Wow. That's a tough 3 games. Tottenham, Madrid.
We beat them today. We beat them today. They're knocked out of top 4 race. They're done.
I think they are. Do you want me to get? Do you want me just? I can put it up there just to have a look. If you want to take a second, I don't know how much time we have.
No, we have loads.
So hang on, let me get it up. Where is it? Do you want? Yeah, if you bring up that slide.
Yeah.
So, because this is like the most up-to-date running race for Europe, right? For the top 4 or for 4th to 8th, 4th to 8th. Tottenham, Arsenal, Wolves, Man United, West Ham, and anyone in the comments. Like, I'd love to know what you guys all think as well. I used to think that Manchester United's running was the hardest, but they've only got 10 games left. I don't think it's as hard now as I used to. I know that Liverpool away is probably nothing there. Tottenham today, we'll see what happens. But Leicester at home, I think that they're like, that's not that difficult a game. No. Everton away is not a difficult game. Norwich at home is not a difficult game. Brentford, not a difficult game. Brighton, not a difficult game. Who knows what state Chelsea will be in by the end of the season. And Palace, by the time you play Palace at that stage in the season, they're going to be in a 10th, 11th. They're going to have nothing to play for. So they're probably not the same outfit at Selhurst Park as they were. I don't think Manchester United's running is that bad. Whereas you look at Arsenal's, I think Arsenal have got the hardest running of all of them. You know, they've got 7 away games, right? They've got Tottenham away, Chelsea away, still to be decided. Newcastle away, which is Newcastle's like resurrection into the second half of the season is insane.
Palace away.
They've got Palace
won't be
away.
easy.
They got Aston Villa away. I mean, Gerrard is like with Coutinho and that.
Europe.
Well, yeah, they're going for Europe. And Southampton away. They got 7 away games, all of them they could easily lose. And at home, they've got Liverpool and at home they should beat Leicester, they should beat Leeds, they should beat Everton, and they should beat Man United, I think. But I think Arsenal are fucked. Not fucked. That's a massive stretch. I just think that Arsenal. Everyone's thinking that Arsenal are the favourites to win it. And everyone in the comments, let me know. But I think Arsenal's running. They've got 7 away games, and they are tough away games. They're probably the toughest away, apart from Manchester City and Liverpool. They haven't got many. They've probably got of the 7 away games they've probably got the 7 of the 9 toughest away games you could pick.
Yeah, looking at that. Look, I've always said I think Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal will get top 4. You look at Leicester. I think they're playing them this weekend. Look, Leicester really need to get some sort of form going between now and the end of the season. I wouldn't put it past Leicester. They definitely have the capabilities of getting a result there. They have Liverpool at home. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat Liverpool. No. Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa, they're a night now in the Premier League. They're an outside shout for Europa Conference League spot. I'm sure they'll be aiming for that.
Yep.
Palace away. I mean, we seen what happened when we turned up there. We got absolutely slapped around the place. Brighton, they always find it tough against Brighton. Brighton seems to be a bit of a bogey team for them. So their next 5 fixtures is not easy. Everything could turn in them next 5 fixtures. Then you've got Southampton away.
Not easy. There's a draw there. They won't. Southampton won't beat Arsenal, but there's probably a 1-1 draw there.
There's a draw there. You've got United. Look, that one's in the balance. West Ham away. That's a London derby. Anything can happen. Newcastle, anything can happen there. And then they still have us and Chelsea. So Arsenal are nowhere near home and dry. Nowhere near. Look, they've got Liverpool. They've got United, West Ham, Spurs, and Chelsea. All teams inside that top 7. Still all to play. Whereas, look, we've got United. We win today. It's in our hands. I think we beat Brighton. I think we beat West Ham. We should beat Newcastle. Villa will be tricky. So, look, I think we have a good run-in compared to Arsenal's. Wolves, I don't think will make top 4. United, they actually have a pretty decent... Well, actually, no, Palace away, Chelsea home. Look, it's in our hands. All of us still have to play each other, really, apart from Wolves. So, it's going to be a tight run-in for sure. But if we win today... What it does do, Sean, is it catapults us into prime position, in my opinion. Because Liverpool have to go to Liverpool. We go to Brighton. We win there. I think we're up in 4th. So we just need to keep winning our games. We need to just keep winning. And today is crucial. But I do think we will get top 4. It's definitely not beyond possibility, Sean. Do you think we can get top 4?
Yeah, no, 100% do, mate. Like, you look at our run-in versus Arsenal's, and there's, on paper at least, I know it's early to be doing this stuff, but on paper, we haven't got anything like the difficulty in away games. Obviously, Liverpool away is tough, right? And today's tough. Brighton away, I think we can handle Brighton. We've got Brighton usually in our pocket. We've got West Ham at home. They're a different outfit at home, so they are away. Newcastle, Newcastle are on a massive uplift. They've got Champions League form right now. They've got 7 of their last 8 games they've won, and with only 1 draw, they're undefeated in a lot. Right, so Newcastle are tough, but I'd rather play them at home than away all day long. Villa away for sure, that's a tough one. Brighton at home, easy. Brentford away, hopefully easy. Leicester at home, hopefully good. Liverpool away is obviously going to be a tough one. Burnley at home should be fine. Norwich away should be fine. They'll be down and out by then. And then Arsenal's the only other game. I think that there is I would go as far as to say that even if we lose today, we've still got a better run in. We can still catch up Arsenal given the relative run-ins. Wolves I'm not going to bother going through, and West Ham I'm not going to bother going through because I don't think either of them are going to be a threat for 4th. But just wanted to bring it up, mate, because we were talking about it.
Do you know what? Before I've seen Arsenal, United, and West Ham's fixtures, I was kind of thinking, look, we lose today, it's over. But when you look at the fixtures Arsenal still have to play, it's not. It's nowhere near over. It's still in the balance. And look, I absolutely love that, Sean. You've made my day bringing that up. So even if we do lose, I can still be happy that top 4 is still on.
We can still find a reason to be positive, I don't think it's as yeah, when you look at the running, I just think that it's in our hands more than it is Arsenal's, if I'm honest.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. You look at Arsenal fixtures; they're not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So I absolutely love that. Look, Arsenal have had some nice fixtures over the last little while. They've done well. It's suited some of their young guns. But some of these games they're coming up against some really good experienced teams in the Premier League, and it'd be interesting to see how they get on if they can continue that form, which I don't think they will. I think it'll all fall apart, and we'll have the same old Arsenal again, and then AFTV be the biggest platform on YouTube again because everyone will be watching them cry again. It'd be absolutely brilliant. Lego head getting smashed about the place. But no, look, top four is well and truly on. Looking at all them fixtures, and anybody looking at them, you can't tell me it's not on. But look, Sean, it kind of leads perfectly into what I want to talk about next, is because you look at them, all of them fixtures and that there, right? That you had up. But we're saying we can still get top four, even if we don't win today, judging on everybody else's fixtures and where we think they'll drop points. But like I said earlier, we have been very inconsistent over the past 2 months. We have a record of 7 wins and 7 defeats from 14 games since 2022. Should we be concerned by our inconsistency? And do you think it'll cost us? It could end up costing us the top four in the long run. Because look, for me, I still have reservations, but I want to. When you look at January and most of February, we had a hell of a lot of injuries. And for me, I think that's a bit of an isolated. I think you have to isolate that. And I think you can only look at what we've done since we've got all of our players back.
Yeah.
You look at everything, you look at Leeds, games like that. I think for me, you look at Man City as well. Take away Brighton. If you want to look back over the last 4 games, we've won 3, lost 1 in the Premier League. Do you think we should put that sort of inconsistency and stretching it all the way back to 2022 behind us and just focus on what we've done most recently?
Yeah, I 100% do, mate. I think that there's certain takeaways that you have to rely on, and one of them I'm going to draw back on when I finish this sentence because I want to ask you a question about that. But in terms of like the form, the history, I think that you're right. We're a different team with Winksy in the side to when we got Bentancur. Yeah. We're a different team from before we had Kulusevski and Bentancur than we are now. The only thing, so I think you have to kind of like you take data points, history, and you kind of go, all right, it's something to talk about, but this 11 has never lost to Manchester United. This specific 11 today has never lost at Old Trafford, right? And this specific 11 is on the back of 2 amazing victories that, by the way, weren't just great 6 points to put in our locker, but also closed the gap on the goal difference, which was such an important thing. And like, for what it's worth, if we go and smash United today by I think it's by 4 goals or by 5 goals, if we go and do a 6-1 again, I know it's unlikely, but if we do, we go 4th tonight, right? We go ahead of Arsenal because Arsenal have got a goal difference of +12 and we've got +8. So if we go and put Man United to the sword, then we go 4th. And what does that mean? But I do think that there's certain things about the Tottenham side that are always the same, regardless of the 11, and that is slow starts. Right? Tottenham are a slow start. Generally, have been a slow starting team until recently.
Yes.
And 2 of the goals that we've scored early were from Sessegnon, right? And I mentioned this on my morning walk this morning. One of the lesser noticed things about Sessegnon, I think, whenever I review Sessegnon, is that he starts well. Like, he really starts well. He switched on from the get-go. Yeah. He was responsible for the first goal inside 5 minutes against Leeds. He was responsible for the first goal with the assist inside of 10 minutes, or just about 10 minutes with Everton. He's out. So we're back to Reguilon. So I'm worried about the first 20 minutes. And so for you, Dave, my question to you is, like, are we expecting United to come at us for the first 20 minutes? And are we going to be put under pressure straight away? Or, given Tottenham's, natural tendencies to be slow out of the blocks generally, especially when Sessegnon's not in the team, which he's not, like, how do we approach the first 20 minutes of the game?
Look, for me, what I have noticed is we do tend to sit back the first couple of minutes. We tend to be a bit slow, passing it around the back if we're on the ball, back to Hugo Lloris, drawing the teams out. But what we do is that we kind of encourage teams to come out straight away. Like, even you look back at that Everton game, we did encourage them to come out more or less from the off. We let them feel like they had control for the first couple of minutes. And for me, I think it's a ploy, because I think everybody switched on now from the get-go, which was not the case. It's like you said, it's only started happening recently.
Yeah.
But what I think the tactic is give the teams encouragement to feel like they're on top. But then as soon as you get that ball, get straight at them and try and nick that early goal straight away, you're in control of the game. And I think that's sort of a tactic that I think we have been seen employed the last little while.
Yeah.
But in terms of Sessegnon, look, I actually think you're spot on. He actually does start well. And like you said, the last two games, both the opening goals have come from down that side from Sessegnon. Look, the Sessegnon cross for Doherty against Leeds, and the one there the other day against Everton.
Own goal, yeah.
But for me, what I will say is Reguilon came on at half-time, and within 1 minute, he'd scored. He won the ball, played it, got on the end of it, and scored.
Yeah.
So I just hope that Reguilon can bring that into today's game, that quick start, because this is a guy that has been dropped. He's been out of favour. Sessegnon has started ahead of him, and I think Sessegnon probably was getting a nod because he was so good defensively.
Yeah.
Reguilon maybe not as good defensively, but in my opinion, better going forward.
Yeah.
So I just hope that Reguilon comes out here with a point to prove today, and that he will be up for the game, and he can just slot in naturally for Sessegnon, and hopefully down that left-hand side we can get a nice fast start like we've seen the last two games. But even if Ralf Rangnick has seen that and he's wary of it and sets up for that, our right-hand side has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's been where the majority of our goals have come from.
100%.
Doherty, Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Kane, all that side of the pitch has been absolutely unbelievable. So even if he wants to go and set up to counteract that, maybe our far starts on the left, we can just go and do it on the right-hand side. What we have right now is threat right through the middle of the pitch, left, right, and centre.
Balanced as well. It's a balanced team with balanced threats and balanced strengths,
Exactly, balanced. It's the word I was looking for. Big up, Sean, another lad that's been reading the dictionary lately. No, you don't need to read the dictionary. You done that when you were younger in school. Fair play to you. I did. No, honestly. Look.
Let me ask this though. Let me ask this before we move on to this balance about the right hand side. About Reguilon, I do want to ask you about Reguilon, right? I don't believe that I always thought there was something going on between him and Conte. I've said it for a while. I don't believe that he had COVID in January and then got it again in late February, right? But now that he's in, do you think part of the reason why he was dropped, if it wasn't just because of an injury, do you think it was because he missed a couple of sitters? And if Conte's going to rely on someone to thread assists or to score goals from the other side, then he was looking at Reguilon and saying, well, you haven't done it. How important was that goal that he scored against Leeds in the first 60 seconds of him being on the pitch? Oh, not Leeds, sorry, Everton.
Yeah.
How important was that for his confidence? How important was that for Conte's belief in him? And, how much does that? And now I'll ask you a second question. How much ability does that now offer Conte to now say, don't just go down the right-hand side? Because against Leeds, 90% of our play was thrown down the right. Now, do you think that Conte is going to say, well, we can go down the left as well because Reguilon's now a bit more confident and can do his job a little bit better?
Do you know what? A lot to take in there. Look, for me, look, you're not the first one that's kind of said it to me about Reguilon and Conte. Has there been something going on there? And look, Ben from We Are Talking TV was saying the same thing a while ago. And look, when you look back on it, you'd probably say so, because even before he had the COVID, he was dropped against Wolves anyway, regardless. And Sessegnon was putting out there ahead of him in that position. And I do think it comes down to a bit of the end product, because he was, look, don't get me wrong. Look, Reguilon has been making absolutely unbelievable runs down that left-hand side all season long. He makes a lot of unselfish runs, overlaps, which then gives space to Son or Kane. And a lot of the times he's been threaded in as well. But like you were saying, he was crossing when he should be shooting, and when he's shooting, he should be crossing. I was all just kind of muddled up. And look, of course, Conte needs his wide players to be able to be reliable. They have to be able to produce. They have to have an output, and that's probably why you're seeing Doherty in ahead of Emerson over the right hand side.
100%.
You know, so I definitely think there was probably maybe a bit of something going on there. Maybe Reguilon was throwing his toys out the pram, and Conte was, look, it's my way or the highway. You get on board with it, and you go and improve yourself, or you don't play. And I think coming on against Everton and having that impact straight away. Look, first of all, something must have happened for him to have that hunger. I think he went out there with an attitude of "fuck you, I'll show you."
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, and that's why you've seen the immediate impact that we've seen. And long may it continue, because I believe in Reguilon. I think he's got all the attributes to be able to play that left wing position.
Same.
He's got the pace, he's got the energy, he's got the work rate to get up and down. Defensively, he could improve a little bit more. Sometimes he jumps in a bit too much, but he has worked on that this year compared to when he was getting done with it last year. And going forward, he's making absolutely great runs, getting into positions. It's just the end product that needs to be better, because some of them times he was getting in them positions. If he had better end product, that creates a different scenario in terms of the outcome of the game, goals, points on the board, and stuff like that. And we know that Antonio Conte is a winner, and he looks into every single little detail of where the game has gone wrong if we lose. You know, and he would have picked that up and said to Reguilon, look, you were putting 3 times down there today. You should have shot here, but you crossed it. You should have crossed it here, but you shot. We can't have this. You're being headless. You know, we need you. Like the Harry Kane's son need to be able to trust you and know what you're going to do in order for them to be able to make them runs in the box and all that for you. But you also have to clarify in your head what you want to do in terms of, you know, finishing and stuff. You can't be having a mixed bag. You need to be more composed, because the space you're getting down them sides, you can get the game going forward and defensively for us. So we need you to be better. So I definitely think there's 100% an element to what you're saying, Sean.
Love it. Love it, mate.
Well, hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. Hopefully,
no, it's great. It's great. I've got follow-up questions for you.
Yeah.
But I know you got to get through some super chats. So
the truth sets you free, says Antonio sings the David Harris song before games. Oh, I'd absolutely love it. Look, what I will say is I'm over there next week. I'm going to Brighton away. I'm going to West Ham at home. So I'll probably even be singing my own song there, to be honest with you. The truth sets you free, my man. But look, absolutely love it. Big yourself up. And I'll definitely be singing the Antonio Conte song. And if Harry Kane scores against West Ham, you might see me on the celebration straight in with Harry Kane on Sky Sports camera. I probably would risk getting kicked out of the ground just to celebrate against West Ham at Harry Kane, to be honest with you. The truth sets you free. But big yourself up, my man. I really do appreciate the support. Everybody keep smashing that like button. Keep smashing that subscribe button. Shawnee, let's give it to me. What's your follow-up question?
Well, my follow-up question is, who do you think has a better relationship, right, in the team?
Yeah.
Not Højbjerg. I keep saying Højbjerg. Kulusevski and Doherty.
Yeah.
Or Sonny and Reguilon. I know that of late it's been Sonny and Sessegnon, but I'm asking you to think back to the relationship before of Sonny and Reguilon doing the overlaps. Whose relationship do you think creates more and is something we can, to build on and to benefit from?
Interesting. Good question. Look, I think when Son was playing out on the left wing, I would have said Reguilon and Son, because Reguilon again makes them unselfish runs, the overlaps, which then brings the defender with him, which then creates the space for Son to drift inside and do what Son was doing best. But since Son is playing inside a lot more, that partnership seems to have waned a little bit.
Yeah.
But over the other side, Doherty and Kulusevski have got to grips with that partnership down the other side. So right now, I would say Doherty and Kulusevski.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Son's position has changed. So he doesn't have that same partnership. Reguilon's runs don't have as much effect on Son's game as they would have beforehand, if you get what I'm saying.
Well, you think because Sonny's getting pulled inside a bit more? Is that what you're saying?
Well, like Sonny used to be out wide left.
Yeah.
But now it's Kane, Son, Kulu. The kind of
in a three,
inside in like two number 10 positions. So when Son was out wide, Reguilon then was making the overlap run on the outside of him and was pulling the defender. But when he's inside, it's not really affecting, like that run doesn't really affect Sonny unless Kane gets on the ball and plays Reguilon in, because Sonny's not looking to feed Reguilon anymore. He's looking to cut inside with the ball on his right foot and play other people in.
Yeah.
So Reguilon doesn't have as much effect on Son's game as much as he used to.
So how does, if Kulu's playing the right-sided 10, how is it that Doherty, is it because Doherty's not playing such an expansive runner behind? Like, so do we need Reguilon then, in order for Reguilon to benefit from this new system? Do we need Reguilon to rely less on his pace and to be just more, because sometimes Kulu and Doherty are just like meters apart from each other. Like,
yes.
You never see Doherty do like massive bombs down the side, but you see them doing little delicate 1-2s where they run round a player and then thread it through to Sonny or whoever else, right? Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But my man, I will be there with my Hello Kitty balloon for the West Ham game. Make sure you come and find me. You've been throwing threats around, so I actually want to see you. If you don't turn up, I take it you live up to what I've been saying. You're a pussy.
He's always there, isn't he, for a little jab at some point.
He is. I like it though. I like it. It brings a bit of spice to it, my man.
Yeah.
It brings a bit of spice. But back to what you were
Just
saying.
For what it's worth, though, mate, he's 50. if that's his birthday, 1972, you're 50 years old, bro.
I don't think he is 50. I was looking at one of his pictures on Twitter. I don't think he's 50. I think he's a bit younger than that.
Anyway,
but
do you think like do you need one of the fullbacks to be close to their wingman to Kulu so they can do that kind of intricate 1-2s? Can you afford to have both doing the same thing, or do you need to just that's the right-sided style that we do where Kulu and Doherty can do their 1-2s and find a little gap through, but on the left, because if you put too much forward, if you put both wing backs too far forward, you might be vulnerable on the counter. Do you need Reguilon to continue doing his runs, or can you ask Reguilon to do the same sort of thing with Sonny as what Kulu and Doherty do?
Well, here's why it's different down the left-hand side, Sean, because with Kulu and Doherty, we've seen at times they're not afraid to get right out to the byline, 1-2s with each other. But on the left-hand side, you also have that added factor of Ben Davies, who likes to get forward. He likes to break out. We've seen it.
Good point.
So with Ben Davies breaking out, Son is always inside. Very rarely is he out on the touchline anymore. So, like with Ben Davies there overlapping, Reguilon then getting further forward and stuff like that, it's a complete different setup the way we go down the left than it is the right-hand side.
Yeah, I take that point. And Romero's different to Davies in a bunch of different ways as well.
Yeah.
If you get caught out on the right-hand side and they break, you know that Romero's more likely to be able to smash somebody and for whatever reason, whether it's give away a foul or just and Romero's timing of his tackling is usually, like I say, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, he gets it spot on. Whereas I'm not sure you could rely on Davies to the same percentage. So
no, I think that's why Davies is probably allowed to wander forward a lot of the times, lad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
No, good discussion. I enjoyed that. That was a good tactical discussion.
Well, let's move back to Manchester United, right? I want to ask you this. So United have shown a weakness to counter-attacking football of late, right? Should the game plan today be to sit back? How do you think we should, how should we approach it? I've already mentioned to you that it could, in my opinion, it could be one of those things where it could be all out. Everyone's benefiting from everybody's most offensive and they're strongest in offense and weakest in defense. But given that they are weak to counter-attacking football, should the game plan today for us to be to sit back, keep it tight, soak up the pressure, and rely on breaks on the counter, like when we did when we beat City 3-2? Even if that means if they do the same thing, it could end up being a dead rubber and a fucking boring match. How do you think we should set up?
Look, from what I've seen over the course of Antonio coming in, Sean, I actually think that if you look back at our away games and our away setups, we do sit back more often than what we do actually at home. And that is something that I have noticed over the period of Conte. I think with Conte, he has the old school mentality. You go away and you set up not to lose.
Yeah.
And then you build your counter-attacking system from there. And you try and get your points. Because you have to remember, when you go away, there's loads of different factors to take in. There's players playing in front of their home crowd, they don't want them getting on their back, so they probably give it a bit more. You know, the crowd, if the home team isn't playing well, that sometimes the crowd can get noisy and inspire that team then to kick on.
Yeah.
And plus, away teams usually go to teams that are playing away usually go to that game to counteract what the home team is doing. That's usually the way away games work. They counteract. They look at the home setup and they counteract it with their setup. So for me, look, I just think with United getting spanked by City and the pride and everything else, and you've heard what Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, they're all out. Everybody's out at them. I do think the pride will be hurt. I think they'll naively come out and look to get at us. I think they'll look at our defence and maybe fancy their chances, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially with their pace, if they can get Elanga or whoever it may be, get balls in behind Dyer and Davies.
Yeah.
He'll outrun them all day long. So for me, I think by them coming out and doing that, I think they're playing into our hands, because I do think we'll set up similar to what we did against City. I think we'll look, because you have to remember, right?
5-4-1, yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, 9 goals, 6 assists, I think. Paul Pogba, 9 assists. Cristiano Ronaldo, 9 goals. So I do think that they will fancy themselves in terms of they have plenty of attacking talent out there who can turn it on at any given moment. But I just think by doing that, it'll play into our hands, to be honest with you. I think we should sit back. I think we should execute a game plan, maybe more or less like we did against Man City, and just look to pick them off on the counter all day long. Because what we don't want is them sitting in, because balls into the box and them sitting low block, that suits Maguire all day long. He'll just go and meet them. You want 100%. To draw them out so you can use that space in behind and get to full effect. You know what I mean?
We tried that against Middlesbrough, and Chris Wilder's tactic was, no. They sit back, we sit back. Because the longer this game goes on, it's 0-0, the more they're going to have to eventually come out, because they're expected to win. So whilst I 100% agree with you that it suits us with the vision, the idea that because they're looking for a rebound from City, because they're at home, that I actually think it might be, this is why I'm now, the more we talk about this, the more I'm thinking, if Wreck-It Ralph is smart, he will set them up like that, and we'll set up like out the way we're doing it, and it could be a stalemate, right? But like Middlesbrough versus Tottenham, it was Tottenham that eventually had to come out, and then it was Middlesbrough that benefited. The longer that we ask them to give them the ball, let them come at us, and they might sit there and go, no, because Tottenham are terrible when they've got the ball. It could be a really fucking boring first half. In fact, the more I'm saying this out loud, the more in my head I'm thinking it's not going to be the 5-goal thriller. It might actually be a really boring first half of football, but it's going to be ultimately Manchester United that have to make the first move, because their fans won't tolerate it. And then we can then break. Because I think you're right. Like, Maguire's going to lap up any balls that are coming into a low block. He's just going to be slabhead, mallet head. It's just going to be his lunch all day long. So, I think you're spot on. But I think that's going to result in a boring game, unless Tottenham are stupid and try and push forward. Yeah.
Well, look, just to add to your point, I don't think United crowd will accept United sitting at home against Tottenham and looking to get a point. With Middlesbrough, it's different, right? They were never expected to beat us. And Chris Wilder basically played a game of chicken with Conte. He called his bluff.
100%.
Like poker shop, called his bluff. He's like, okay,
100%.
Well, I'm going to sit in longer than you. Eventually, you're going to have to come out. You're the Premier League team.
Nailed it.
This game is a slightly bit different, because I just don't think United fans will accept United sitting back against Tottenham.
I hope not.
Maybe they would. Maybe we could be completely surprised, and they could be happy with it, with the understanding they're going to go for the Champions League game during the week. But I just think it's a slight bit different. But look, it's an interesting scenario.
That's like I say, it's going to be
see what happens.
It's going to be one of the other, right? It's either going to be a really, really tight, boring game with nothing happening, or it could be all out. Both teams are better offensively than they are defensively, and it could be one of those games where it's for the history books, like one of those just games for the ages. But I'm hoping for the latter, Dave. But I do think that maybe, just talking about it with you, I do think that there might be a chance that both teams do the chicken. But if we do the chicken dance, then I think that Manchester United are going to have to, they're going to have to cluck first and move out, because their fans are going to be so impatient.
See, it also comes down to to how Wreck-It Ralph sees his squad. Like, look, I think there's fitness issues there. I do believe there's fitness issues there with United. And look, they have, like I was saying earlier on, they've developed a pattern where they either play one good half, one bad half. And to me, when you see teams do that, that's not tactical. That's fitness levels. They can't go for 90 minutes.
True.
So it'll be interesting to see whether Wreck-It Ralph acknowledges that and decides to sit in first half and go for it second half, or go for it first half and then, second half, just let it be what it's going to be. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens there. It really does. But look, we'll take a couple of super chats because, Sean, I do want to talk to you about the midfield battle today because it's going to be very, very interesting. Truth Sets You Free says, he's the Irish Hotspur, I just don't think you understand. He comes from Kildare. I have to make up the rest of it. I'll have to make up
you fucking dare. We got the Irish Hotspur.
Comes from Kildare. He's got the fucking flair. We love the Irish Hotspur. Big up, Truth Set You Free. Absolutely love it, my man. You get me pumped up. Stop it. Come on. Darkstone G says, our system is perfect for us. Reggie or Session for left wing back. Remember last season we used 4 in the back. Our choices was Reggie or Davies. Nice choices now. Look, Session is out today, so he's out till after the next international break. So we are going to put him with Reggie
at least.
At least. So we will be seeing Reggie out there for the time being. But if we'll flip this and say maybe from when Session is back to the end of the season, I think if Reggie has a good spell, Reggie keeps his spot. I think if he doesn't do much more going forward, affecting the game going forward, I think Session. I'm gonna put my neck on the line. I'm gonna go with Regulon, Darkstone G. Shani, what about you?
What's the question?
Regulon or Session going forward after Session gets back from his injury.
I'm hopeful. Yeah, Regulon. But the one thing I do want to get a little bit pessimistic in a prophecy for a second. I've said today on my Tottenham walk, I think that this is the only position, left wing back is the only position that has equity, right? Like Sessignon and Reguilón, there's not much between the two. You can't make the same case for any other position. If Reguilón's, if it's true, I'm not sure it is, but if it's true that his absence is because of an injury, then if he gets injured, what the fuck do we do then? If he gets an injury today,
Matt Doherty goes over there.
Does he? So you wouldn't go back to a back four and have Davies play as a back four? Or you wouldn't even ask Davies to play a left wing back because it's
no. He's done out there. He's done. He doesn't have the pace, Sean. He does not have the pace. You look at some of the wingers in the Premier League now. For instance, even you want to talk about lower teams: Ismail Assar, Olise, Zaha,
he'll get ripped apart.
He just does not have that sort of pace anymore. And that's why he's been moved into the left side of the centre back. Because even Jose Mourinho was trying it in the Europa League games.
Correct.
Playing him left side of the centre back because and then when he did put Ben Davies out to left back, I think it was for a spell of like 5-6 games, he got roasted every single time. So for me, I think he has no option but to move Doherty over there and bring in Emerson
that's so bad as well, though, isn't it? It's so bad.
It is.
Our first 11, our general first 11 is exciting and has the ability to beat anybody, but one injury to anybody, and we suddenly become incredibly weak, don't we? It's so worrying.
No, it is. It's look, it's the drop off in quality. You bring in Winks, you bring in Sanchez, no matter who you want to bring in. Even if you bring in
confidence goes from the players next to those players. Like Winksy comes back in, Højbjerg can't be the same player because he's now covering for him. Sanchez goes back in for Romero. Dyer can't be the same player because he's covering on Emerson. Whatever. Anywhere you look from the midfield backwards, if we get an injury to any of them and the whole the house of cards that Tottenham's rest of season hopes on falls apart very quickly, doesn't it?
No, it does. Even our forward line. Lucas is not better than Kulu.
No.
Bergwijn's not better than Son or Kane. So no matter where we are, the whole squad, even goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, there's a drop. The drop off in quality is that harmful to Tottenham. That's why you see them results when we have to make changes. So we just have to keep this first 11 fit and steer this for as long as we can to the end of the season. Now, look, once Skip comes back, that'll be a good boost. You know what I mean? So look, we just have to wait and see how it goes. But Dark Sun G, my man. Really appreciate the support, brother. And I hope you're pumped up. Let me know what you think your boy Sonny's going to do today. You haven't told me. You haven't been speaking about Sonny today. I'm disappointed, Dark Sanjay.
Hey, I'm busting for a wee, mate.
Yeah,
I'm
work
back
away.
in 10 seconds. You do the super chat.
Yeah, work away, my man. Work away.
Yes.
Killian Gubin says, I am so pumped for today's game, and I really, really hope the Irish Cafu Doherty can continue his excellent performance, because in my opinion, he has a pivotal role in today's game, both offensively and defensively. Come on, you Spurs. Killian, I'm not going to lie. I am a bit worried about Doherty defensively today. You look at some of the games he's played. Leicester, when he was brought on, we were chasing the game. He was allowed to go forward. You look at Leeds, I mean, there was just acres of space there. Again, he could venture forward without being troubled defensively. You look at the Everton game. Again, we just dominated. So I just think he will have a lot more of a different test today than usual. Sean, I was just saying that we're talking a bit about Doherty here, and I was just saying, just to get you up to speed, my man, that like the games Doherty has played at right wing back. Leicester, the game was to go and be chased, so he was allowed to get forward, not tested defensively. Leeds not tested defensively. Everton not tested defensively. Everton was going forward. I just worry a bit about him defensively today, in my opinion, because I haven't really seen him tested defensively too much this season. And when he was playing there last season, he was just being pulled apart. Going forward, at the minute, no issue with him. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. True balls, crosses, creating shots for himself, whatever, getting into the box. He's looking like the Matt Doherty of old. I just hope that Romero can get out there and help him enough, and that Wreck-It Ralph isn't clever enough to be able to get Sancho and Bruno Fernandes to maybe double up down that side and drag Romero out of position, which then creates space for runners then to run into and stuff like that. So it could be a bit tricky. I just hope that Matt Doherty can stand up to it defensively, so that Romero can keep doing what he does in beside him. But I'm not going to lie, I am a bit nervous, my man. I am a bit nervous when it comes to Doherty defensively.
He's the only name. He's the only name.
Do something. Sorry, Sean?
Yeah, sorry, mate. He's the only name on the team sheet that is up for debate, right? There is an argument. I don't know how strong it is, but there is an argument to drop him for Emerson today. There is that, because Emerson played 88 minutes or 85 minutes of the Man City game, right? And he kept Gerdogan and was it Cancelo. He kept them in the pockets, in his pocket, and did a really good job defensively against them in the 5-4-1 formation that we kind of were playing when they had the ball. I don't know if it's worth making, and also if you drop Doherty, what does that do to his confidence? He's a 100% a confidence player, and he's brimming with confidence today. But against Sancho, I don't know whether Doherty's got his ability to, Sancho's got twinkle toes, right? He can jink in and jink out. He can do all that kind of stuff, like the hokey cokey. And I feel like it's one of those situations where Doherty could be. I feel like it all depends on how we start. If we get the first goal, then we're good with Doherty. But if it's 0-0 for a long period of time, the longer it goes on as 0-0, if Doherty's on the pitch, the more I'd be worried about them breaking us down. But if we go 1-0 up, I think the chances are we then go 2-0 up, because Man United would then have to get drawn out, and we can then break, and then Doherty and Kulu can do their thing. So it's a really, really tough kind of thing to analyze, because you're right. If Wreck-It Ralph does throw double men down that side, and he will, then I don't know if Doherty's good enough defensively. I know that Emerson is, but Emerson doesn't offer anything going forward. And Emerson's not great defensively. Let's not. He's probably better than Doherty defensively, but he's not like a Trent, or he's not extremely special. So I still think you have to play Doherty. I think you have to be honest. But it's probably the only position today there's a little bit of debate over whether you'd play one or the other.
Absolutely spot on. Look, I do think there is a debate to be had, but look, where I ultimately settle on, and I think I'm with Sean on this one, is you look at the confidence, the format that he's been in. You can't really drop him, can you? It's kind of undroppable form, to be fair. So for me, it'd be very interesting to see what Conte does. But I do think Doherty might get the nod, Killian. But look, my man, let me know if you think different. I know you do, to be honest with you anyway. But look, Killian, get the beers out, my man. It seems to be a good omen. When you have the beers in the fridge and you have that Budweiser ready to go, we seem to win the games. So make sure you get the beers in the fridge. Big up, Killian, and I hope you keep him well, my man. We also have Brains is in the building. Big up, Brains. He says 100%. Sean, defending numbers, hit them on the break. Big up, Brains. It's good to see you in, my man. John Anthony is here. We won't settle for less. We're going to win a period. And then we have Abdullah Al-Rashid, but draws in our favour. We can stick it. We can sit back and still benefit 100%, my man. Brains, when are you going to come on next? Let me know, my man. I want to get you back on again. True Set You Free says he comes from Kildare. He has a huge pair. I love it. I love it.
We got the Irish Hotspur.
Yeah.
We've got a spur.
What's that manager's name? Simeone, lad. I could just stand there doing the cojones. You know what I mean? God. We've got Irish. The Irish Hotspur comes from Kildare. He has a huge pair. Love it. Big up,
coming from Kildare. He has got a pair. We got the Irish Hotspur.
And then we just get the whole crowd at the West Ham game, turn around to West Ham fans, grab the nutsack, give them the big yard. Love it. Love it. Big up, Truth. You get me inspired already. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much, Truth. Rockstar90, big yourself up. He says, shout out to Joe, Harry, Evie, and Gracie, and of course, you boys. Come on, you Spurs. Well, big up Joe, Harry, Evie, and Gracie. Hope you are having a good day. Get the Spurs jerseys on and enjoy this match today. We are turning up to Old Trafford, and we are hoping to do the business. Get behind the boys. But a big shout out to you guys. A big up, Rockstar. I hope you're keeping well, my man. You really didn't have to put it in the super chat, my man. Just put it in the comments next time, and I'll do the shout outs. I generally usually am good at actually getting onto them and seeing them for the shout outs, my man. I love it. I love it, John. Dark Sun G says, I predict 3-1 if De Gea played with Son, Reggie, Kulu, goals, Kane with 3 assists. Since it's Henderson, maybe a 5-1. Son with 2, Ben with 1, Kulu with 1, Reggie with 1, and Kane 3 assists. What I will say, Dark Sun G, is I do think if we can go 2-0 up, I think we actually give United a hiding. I think the crowd turns toxic. I think the players crumble. I think we actually deliver United a hiding. But
top 4 tonight.
Top 4 tonight. I love it.
All we need is a plus. If we get 4 goals today, and we don't get a +4 goal difference, I'm pretty sure that makes that would send us 4th, because Arsenal got a 12 goal difference.
Big up, Dark Sun G, my man. We win today. Like Sean said, we can sit there tonight in 4th. If I tell you what, if we get 4th, I'm heading round to the curry house and I'm getting a takeaway. I'm absolutely loving it. If that's what happens, I'm going, because I am on a bit of a diet, to be honest with you.
I'm going to get a curry too. If we win, curry's on the lads.
I love it. I love it. Brains, of course we are. Myself, yourself, and Shawnee, and a few others. We'll all get out for pints, my man. Big up, Brainsy boy. My man, let's go. Come on, Brains. Grand Prix Gold. I believe this is Dermot's sister channel. I think could be. I think this is the sister channel.
Yeah.
Because, come on, you Spurs. Let's get this win and march on to top 4. Kane with 1, Decky with 2. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. So quickly, any Grand Prix lovers out there, subscribe to this sister channel of Tottenham Tantrum Gold, which is Grand Prix Gold, where they'll be covering all the Formula 1 season. Anyone that likes Drive to Survive on Netflix, this may be your thing. So get over and check it out. But Shawnee,
good luck with that, Dermot, by the way, mate. Good luck with it, mate. It's I know it's your passion outside. I know Tottenham is your passion, and this is your second passion. Anybody who hasn't, get over there and just give him some love. It's Dermo. Everyone loves Dermo.
Yeah.
Get over there and subscribe.
No, exactly. But you know what? I'm not even going to add to that, because that was perfectly said, Sean. Beautiful. Mwah. Excellent. What more do you want? But big up, Dermot. Big up, my man. And look, hopefully Kane steps up, because I actually think 3 points today hinges on him having another wonderful performance creatively and finishing wise. But big up, Dermot, and I hope you feel better, my man. I really do. I really do. But Sean, I want to move on talking about the midfield battle here, because for me, I think this is where the game will be won and lost today. I think whoever comes out on top of this battle wins the game. I think, look, United, they have 3 men in there. They have Fred, they have Mr. Hair Colour, Paul Pogba, and then they have Bruno Fernandes, the little rat. So that will be the midfield three today, I reckon, with McTominay being out. Now, we are going to be outnumbered in there. And we've seen before against Wolves. We've seen it against Southampton. When we've been outnumbered in there, look what's happened.
Yeah.
So, for me, look, I do think there's an opportunity that we can actually win the midfield battle. I think Bentancur and Højbjerg will outwork Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes anyway. But Fred is a Duracell bunny and will work hard. But I think it all comes down to how well we use that ball in the midfield today as well. In terms of possession, can Højbjerg keep doing what he's been doing the last while, using that ball so well? Can Bentancur keep doing what he's doing? We're asking for an awful lot from them today.
Yeah.
Do you think potentially we might switch to a back three today? Or do you think that Conte was still...
A three in midfield, you mean, yeah?
Yeah, do you think we might switch and bring in Harry Winks with Bentancur and Højbjerg to a three in midfield? To maybe accommodate for United's three in midfield.
No, listen, I don't. If we do, then there's a massive problem. That all you need Harry Kane to do is to do what he's been doing, right? To close out the three in midfield. Harry Kane just needs to drop deep like he did against City and win the ball. If you look at the heat map of Harry Kane's his like positional play for territory and stuff during the 90 minutes against Manchester City, then you'll see that he spent like 80% of his time in the center of the pitch. And I think that's what you do. I don't think Harry Kane is better than Harry Winks at everything that Harry Winks' job title says to do. So for me, I don't want to see us. I'm happy to go with the on screen, the 3-4-3, but the player specific roles include Harry Kane to drop deep and to win the ball, because I think Harry Kane is better defending than Harry Winks. I think he's better at passing than Harry Winks. I think he's got better positional play, and I think everything about Harry Kane is better than Harry Winks. Everything that Harry Winks is required to do. So I don't think you'll see a 3-5-2. I think you'll see a 3-4-3, but I think that you might see a role requirement for Harry Kane to drop deep, and that's desirable for me. It's not just okay with me. It's what I would like to see. Because I think you're right. Man United will go three in midfield. And look, if Pogba's one of the three, then Harry Kane, it might be different if you had three players in the opponent's midfield that were ball winners, that were hustle and bustle, that were tenacious. But Pogba's not any of those things. And so I think that Harry Kane can drop deep and can make up the numbers and then ping Sonny or Kulusevski in and make up the difference. That's how I would do it. How do you feel about it?
I think it'd be similar to City, to be honest with you, because if we take ourselves back to City, right? How many times, Sean, you were on the watch round for City, am I right? Yeah.
No, I wasn't on the City game. No.
Okay.
I was out I was out something. I was sick or something happened. I was sick.
I was going absolutely berserk because Emerson was left out on the right-hand side, being doubled up on for the first 30 minutes. And Kulu was actually being brought into the midfield to make a midfield three in beside Højbjerg and Bentancur. But as the game went on, City found that out and they started playing it down the right-hand side. And then Kulu then went out there and doubled up with Emerson all the time. And then that's when the game sort of opened up and we started getting a lot of our joy. So I think for the first maybe 15, 20 minutes, I think you would see that where Tottenham sit back, Harry Kane sits in front of them. You see Kulu coming into midfield to help Bentancur and Højbjerg block that up so that they can't get ball through the middle, because we've been weak through the middle in the past. Teams like Southampton just pummeled us through the middle. Wolves pummeled us through the middle every single time. So I do think you might see Kulu drift inside for the first while. And then once United get to grips and start going out to the right, I think you'll see Kulu drift out there, and then maybe Son off the opposite side drop in beside them to still create that tree in midfield and block up that space in there. So it'll be very interesting to see what we set up. But I would
but both of us, but neither of us want to see Harry Winks.
No, I do not want to see Harry Winks. No.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
Do you know what kills me, right? I'm all pumped up on the pre-match pump-up when we were Tottenham TV, all the way to the starting lineups, right? And then, boom, you see Harry Winks and you're just like, for fuck's sake, right? And because it's a pre-match pump-up, I still have to keep the energy and stuff.
Yeah,
And but in the back of my mind, I'm so deflated. I'm like, why am I doing this? Just cut it now. We're going to lose. You know what I mean? But look, it's a call he has to make and get right today, because the last thing we want is to be put under the cosh, and then he has to make an early substitution or make a substitution at halftime and bring Winks in to be able to stem the flow through the middle. So it'll be very interesting to see what Conte does today. But I definitely don't want Winksy playing anyway, for sure. Definitely do not. But it'd be interesting. How do you think Bentancur and Højbjerg will actually fare against Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and Fred? Do you think they'll have trouble? Do you think you could see United getting on top of us? Or do you think we have enough in there to be able to combat that and play our usual game?
Yeah, look, I would be incredibly, to the nth degree, less confident if we didn't have Bentancur. I don't know how Bentancur's going to... So you're telling me Bentancur played for Man City, did he? Against Man City?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember that. I thought it was Winks that was playing. So I'm massively losing my mind. Early stage dementia. But if Bentancur was part of the team that could suffocate and string life out of Manchester City by doing the 4-5-1, and that's essentially, look, we're not going to sit back and just and assume that United are going to have 80% possession, but I think that the same formation has to exist because they have got threats all over the pitch when they've got the ball. So I imagine that we're going to have more than, I think we'll be like 35, 40, 45% possession. I think they'll have the majority, but I think it will be a slight majority. But when they have it, we just have to go back to the 5-4-1 for a little while and see what happens. And I think that Bentancur and Højbjerg are more than capable to be able to handle Fernandes and Pogba and Fred, if that's the three that they put in there. I'm really not worried, but I think I'm more worried about if we give them enough space, who they can give the ball to, and what the other players. Ronaldo for me is the biggest threat. The guy scored. I think he scored in every one of the last 6 games he's played against Tottenham. I think he's always scored. I think he scored more, for whatever the games he's played against Spurs, he scored more goals than the games played. So he's obviously scored more than one in a few games or something. But so that it's not so much what they can do, it's what they can do, what they can give to other people to do. And so I'm happy for us to go back into the 5-4-1 when need be. But I'm not particularly worried. And I think Bentancur and Højbjerg, if it wasn't Bentancur and Højbjerg, I'd be worried. But the fact that the Winksy's not in there, I don't want him on the pitch. I don't want him near it. And I think Harry Kane can drop deep and win the ball back. And when we do win it back, you've got pace and you've got absolute, talent beyond the normal levels who can move into the space. And so I think that it's going to be a really challenging. It's one of those games where you sit there and go, it could go either way. It could be a boring game. It could be the best game ever. Both teams could win it by a country mile. It's going to be a fascinating encounter. But to answer your question in the midfield, I do think that Højbjerg and Bentancur have got enough about them, as long as the rest of the team pull back and do their job as well to suffocate United. And then we can break, hopefully, and do our business.
Look, I think us coming out on top of the midfield battle, I think it sort of depends on how hard Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes are willing to work today. I think if they do muck in and graft, I think it's going to be a long evening for Tottenham Hotspur, and I think eventually you might have to make a change. But I think if they're not and they don't really want to work hard and they're saving themselves for the Champions League, I think we win that battle. I think we go on and win the game. But absolutely spot on, Sean. He's spot on. Adrian Chaya, good to see you in, my man. I hope you're keeping well. He says, big up, lads. Tiny contribution to your curry fund. No. I appreciate it. That's the naan bread in now anyway, Adrian. That's the naan bread in.
You get a couple of extra poppadoms now, Dave, as well. Nice.
Look, do you know what? I might be able to get the chutney now. I might be able to get the mango chutney just while I've been there, Nice. Big up, Adrian. What a legend. Yeah. What a legend, my man. And the bottom duty says this false testing nonsense could be one of the motivational speakers' mind games again. All this nonsense about key players being injured. Yeah, look, it wouldn't surprise me. Look, this guy does think he's Sir Alex Ferguson. Again, he probably sat there this morning. Shit, my mind games didn't work last night in the press conference. And what do I need to do today? Let's put out some fake news about De Gea maybe being out, Bruno Fernandes being out. I mean, honestly, this guy is all over the shop.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He doesn't work. He's not up to this standard. Where
This
did he
guy's a
come
fucking
from?
bum.
Where was he? Where was he? He was in like Eastern Europe. Was he in Turkey or
Russia
somewhere?
or something.
Russia or somewhere, right? Yeah. Sorry, bro. This we got levels. There's levels to this nonsense, and your nonsense is at a lower level.
Honestly, this guy's such a bum, and he thinks he's so clever. Like, I guarantee you'll see them walking out today. And by the way, United should not be walking out to the Premier League team tune. They should be walking out to Tragedy by Steps. That's how bad it's been, okay? And Tragedy. I love it. But like with this guy, honestly, I mean, like, he's trying to manipulate the press, play the mind games, trying to do a Sir Alex Ferguson. He's just a bum. He's just an idiot. I mean, what's he going to do with next? He'd probably walk out there, at the start of the game, big smile on his face, thinking he's brilliant. I hope Conte gets him in a headlock and gives him a nugget as soon as he goes for the handshake. I really do. How's that for mind games? How's that for mind games? How's that?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Good luck. Come here, you.
Yeah. You little saucepan. You know what I mean? Give him a good nugget, you absolute melon. I'd love to see it. And then just turn around to the cameras. I'm only joking, and then deep down inside, I'm going to kill you.
And then do the ball side.
Yeah. Cajones. If we score, I'd love Conte to just turn around to him and do the cojones. I would love it. How's that for mind games, you dick? Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Rent free.
Big up to Bolton Duta. My man, what an absolute legend. But Shawnee, before we do end off, maybe two players I do want to slightly touch on. The first one, of course, is Sonny. He came in for criticism again after the Everton defeat, with many fans saying he is not at the levels he was at last season. But he has been very impressive so far with 10 goals, 5 assists this season. And he's actually outperforming Harry Kane, who has 8 goals and 3 assists. Yeah. Should we as fans just get off his case and understand he's adjusting to a new position? Or are you concerned about his form?
I'm not concerned about his form. I've been concerned about his touch.
Yes.
There's a difference between form and touch. I think his first touch against, half a dozen teams at the start of the turn of the year was woeful. And that was something that wasn't necessarily seen. But I think since then, you've seen a different side of it. When he gets played in, I like the fact, because for all of last season, when he got the ball on the edge of the area, he was so predictable. Like, I could tell every single time he would always pull it back, go on his right, and try and curl it into the top locker. And it became predictable to the point where right backs or right wing backs would just show him down the outside, and he would still try and work his way around. I'm glad now that he doesn't do that so much. I'm glad he's less predictable. I actually, to the point where some people were upset that he didn't take the shot against City and passed it off to Kulusevski. I'm glad that happened, because I want to see a unit of 3 at the front who are not selfish. They're balanced, but they're not afraid to have a shot. But they're also someone who can look and observe the situation and say, well, I trust somebody else and they're in a better position, and that's the better. And Kulusevski didn't let him down, and so I don't think we should get off. I don't think I'm not on Sonny's back. I don't think his form dropped. I think his touch dropped. Once he got the ball, if his first touch wasn't poor, he generally was still pretty good. But for a little while, his first touch was really sloppy. And I don't know whether that was injury or tiredness or whatever, because the first touch is just your mind not working as sharp as you want in the moment, rather than anything else. I've been impressed, mate. He's our top scorer. He's got the record with Harry Kane. I don't think anyone should be on his back. I think he's someone that always deserves our support, because he's the happiest football player and he's the least trouble for such a world-class player. The contract negotiations were easy. He didn't ask for too much. He's just happy. He's always smiley. He always delivers. Like, he never lets you down generally. Everyone can have a bad game. There was a little period where, like I say, I feel like it was, and I was one who was saying that your first touch, mate, is nonsense. What's going on? Are you injured? Are you distracted? What's going on? But I think he's shaking that little period off, and I think he's going to have a wonderful game today. I think he's going to be someone that's going to score, or if he doesn't score, it will only be because he's had a bad game. He'll have 3 or 4 gilt edge chances. He'll get more chances today than Kane. Yeah. And I think he's going to do us proud. So yeah, if you are on his back, get off his back, bro. But if you're not on his back, then get behind him and blow wind his way. Put wind in his sails, because he's a monster player for Tottenham, and he's one of our own. Well, he's
No,
not
I
one of
love
our own,
that.
but he is one of our own, if you know what I mean.
He is. And look, he's adopted. He's one of our own. He's adopted one of
he's
our own. I
adopted.
love it. I love it. But look, Sean, maybe last question, because I do have to head over to We Are Tottenham TV.
Yeah.
Do you think Harry Kane will break Wayne Rooney's away goal record in the Premier League today at Old Trafford? Wayne Rooney has 94. Harry Kane's on 93. Can it be done today?
Will he break it?
Yeah.
He could break it. I don't think he'll break it. I think he's more likely to equalise it. I think he will score. But I think that I think we're going to see 3 goals from Tottenham, 1 from Sonny, 1 from Kane, and 1 from Kulu. As we go and take the 3 points. I don't think he'll break it. He could break it, but I think he'll just equalise it, and then he'll smash Brighton away on Wednesday. He'll get a goal against Brighton. Oh, is it Brighton? Who we got on Wednesday?
Yeah,
Brighton. Yeah. So he'll get the record at Brighton. Not quite as sweet tasting as doing it at Old Trafford against an ex-United player, but that's okay. That's okay, bro. Just come away with the 3 points. You'll get your record before the end of the season, whatever happens.
No, he will. He will. And I think you're spot on when you said you think someone will get more chances than Kane. I do think he will as well, to be honest with you. Sean, score prediction, and where can people find you, my man?
Thanks, mate. Great to come on today. 3-1 is my score prediction. I think it's going to be a great game. It could be much wilder than that. If you're going to have a bet, go for less than 2 goals, like less than 1.5 goals. I think it will be 0-0 or 1-0, or go for more than like 5 goals. Go for like minus 1.5 or plus 4.5, something like that, because I think it's going to be 2 extremes, either a dead boring game or one of the greatest games we've ever seen. And Tottenham are going to come away. I'm going to say, I'll say 4-1, because I want Tottenham to sit above Arsenal tonight on their top 4.
I love that. I love that. Look, for me, I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs. I'm going for it today, Shawnee. I'm going for it. Every week, to be fair. But I'm going 3-1 Spurs today. I see United scoring. I think they will nick one with the Cristiano Ronaldo factor. But I just think the longer the game goes on and it stays 0-0, which I think our defence is better than theirs, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think their defence will crumble. We will create chances. We are on absolute fire up front, all across the front 3. I think that'll be more than enough to be able to put United to bed today. I know it's away. I know we're going into the Lions territory, and people are going to say, Dave, take your Spurs hat off. But I can't, because I chose Tottenham. So 3-1 Spurs is where I'm going with that. I love it. But Shawnee, where can people find you, brother?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Spurs. Yeah, Spurs Talk Show. I do a couple of different bits. I do Tottenham walks in the morning with my dog Bugsy, where I do like 10-minute segments, just getting Tottenham off my chest. And then we do similar stuff to what the rest of the community does, like live streams with a bunch of questions. I try and keep it lighthearted, because I like banter and fun. But we obviously stick to the Tottenham stuff. But I try and stay away from anything too negative. And we play games. We've got good games on there. Great guests. Dave's a regular. The Tottenham Tantrum Gold Boys are regulars. And then people from Tottenham on tour, like Brian Daigle and other guys like Adam William Cahill, etc., are regulars as well. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, would really, really appreciate it. The last time I asked this channel to shout me out last week, we went from 595 to, I think I'm on like 610 now. I'm on the march to 1,000. I've hit all 3 of the 4 the requirements to get to the monetization stage. I just need to get another 400 people to like me enough to hit a little subscribe button. So it doesn't take much from you. You don't even have to watch me after that. But if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't disliked my content today, please hit the subscribe button. Spurs Talk Show is where you can find me, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and stuff as well. All the same, Spurs Talk Show. Key hashtag whatever it is @thing.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it, guys. Honestly, look at the energy, look at the laughter, look at that smile Sean brings to the stream, guys. You can't not get over there and smash that subscribe button. I see so many people throughout the show today saying they've really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the discussion myself and Sean that happened. Been enjoying the banter that we've been having as well. So, guys, if you have, Spurs Talk Show is your place. The link is here in the community section. Just click on it, get over there, and smash that subscribe button. I have no doubt Shawnee will outpass this channel one day in the future. No, you are. You're absolutely flying, my man. So, guys, get over there. You want to be a part of that journey, trust me. But look, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has tuned in today. It's been a good one. It's been a nice long one as well. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has smashed that like button, smashed that subscribe button. It really does help the channel in terms of growth, in terms of algorithms and YouTube and stuff like that. And anybody out there telling you that they they don't want the likes and subscribes, it's all false, because that's why they call people out, because they want that sort of platform. So make sure you do smash that like and that subscribe button, guys. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who has supported the channel financially today. You have no idea how much it really does help us going forward. And trust me, I have a lot already in place to work on over the summer to be able to bring you more content, better content next season. So just make sure you stay tuned here. And then the bottom it says, do we have a post-match stream with Sean? If you're referring to this channel, my man, we're going to do the watch along from 5:15, and we always stay a bit after the game, dissect what's gone on, take on people's comments and everything else and discuss them. So make sure you tune in for that. But I'll be back here for player ratings tomorrow. If you want to join in for that, the bottom do it. But Sean, are you doing anything on your channel? Maybe, I think is maybe what he's asking. I'm not sure.
Not later on tonight. I'll probably be too drunk by that point.
Especially if we win. If we win the bottom do it, we're going to have a curry. We're not having.
We're having a curry and a couple of Bangla beers or something. Yeah. But tomorrow or throughout the week next week, no doubt I'll be doing stuff. And you can, like I say, I always do my morning walks, so they get loaded up by about midday every day. But I really appreciate it. I've already just seen. I've gone from 6:09 to 6:16 already. So
wow.
I mean, amazing little kick on. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Absolutely love that. Look, this is what this community is, one of the greatest on YouTube. They're so kind, caring, supportive. It's unbelievable. You guys give yourselves a pat on the back. We'll see you back here at 5:15 for the watch along. As always, come on, you Spurs. We trust. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.